You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here on the Subway pregame show, eat fresh, eat healthy, eat there all the time. Mike Cardellaro definitely wants his team to keep on moving down the tracks as well. Coach joins me here. Coach, before we get into obviously what everybody wants to know about with Dan River, let's review Nelson real quick. It was a hard game to really get in the flow with a lot of interruptions due to whistles and everything like that. But, I think your old survive and advance thing can go ahead and start now. You get the W. You get this matchup with Dan River. What did you see in Nelson that you liked?
Well, coming off the Dan River game just 24 hours, before it's the first loss, your only loss of the year. So it was a tough game to bounce back, and it's a non-district game, which we've gone back-to-back a couple of times this year. The good things, what he said, survive and advance. Dustin did a nice job of taking the post away in the first half. The game was very physical, and there was a lot of whistles. Couldn't quite get a rhythm going. Just a 4-point lead at halftime. But we came out the third quarter and got going a little bit. I think Jacob McClure's three from the corner got us up 7 or 8, and they kind of loosened us up a little bit, and then we got it up, beyond 12 or 13 points. We give Nelson credit. They came in a battle. They played hard. We knew they were going to play hard. They played a lot of guys coming off the bench. And we knew we were going to take the best shot. And you're right, it is that time of the year. You got to find a way to hang on and win. And it wasn't real pretty, but a win is the way you want to. It's what you want to do. It's what you want to get. And that's what we were able to do. And then gave us the opportunity to get focused back on Dan River.
The free throw line numbers are real skewed just because there were some guys and towards the end that are not normally in the games at all times at the end, but no excuses from the performance, I'm assuming, in your mind, from the stripe.
Well, it's been our Achilles heel all year. We have struggled at the foul line. There's no doubt about that. We work it every day. We shoot lots of shots. We try to put them in different situations. They just get rep after rep at the foul line. But it is what it is. It's a part of our game right now that's got to certainly improve for us, especially at this time of the year, tournament time. And we're concerned about it. And hopefully we'll come out and show some confidence, step up to the line and shoot it with confidence and turn that around. But it certainly was not a good number for us against Lost.
True postseason game in my mind now, in terms of whatever people want to classify as, if it's, to determine the regular season champ or whatever. But to me, we've got postseason basketball now against Dan River tonight. Obviously, they got you guys the last time. They're very athletic. In terms of adjustments, how important is it that, just because of one loss, you don't try to reinvent the wheel or anything?
Right, good point. We're not going to do that. And if we couldn't do it, if we wanted to, we're back tonight playing on the smaller court, Gretna, which is the duplicate court that Dan River plays on. We've got to show tremendous poise and composure against their pressure. They're very athletic, as you say, and they're very physical. They really get up and challenge you, and you got to maintain. And it's a tough thing. We're a young group, and I think they, in some ways, they exposed that last Friday. But I'm really proud of how we battled back and hung in there, and actually had our chances. So, for us tonight, it's real simple. We've got to do a little better job of handling the pressure in the backcourt. I think we've got to get into our half-court man-to-man offense and be able to go to the post, because we feel like that part of our strength, definitely the twins in the post. And defensively, which has been our strong point most of the year, has got to get better at containing their penetration. They really got to the rim on us with their guards. And Adams had a career night, especially in the fourth quarter down there. So hopefully that's not going to happen again. And this is good too. It's postseason basketball. It's an electric atmosphere, and that's what you're going to get as you advance on. And we've talked to the guys about that. This is what it's going to be like, throughout the rest of the year. So it's fun time too. You like it when the crowd's that big, and the kids enjoy it. So we're hoping that we're going to show improvement. We're going to have a shot at a win.
Even though I'm fairly certain that Altavista is closer to Gretna than Dan River is closer to Gretna, I don't think, obviously, it's a home game for you guys. In terms of the message to the kids, do you preach this as a road game, us against the world? I mean, how do you get inside their heads, or, hey, just go play basketball?
No, we're still going to play basketball. I think the crowd will be evened up. It sure looks that way, and we're going to go play, and we're trying to see, go back and test ourselves after a full week of practice, and trying to get prepared for these guys. They're obviously one of the better teams in the state. There's no doubt about it. They're a Division II team, and they've been in the playoffs a number of years and advanced very far. So all of those things we think are pluses for us because we are playing definitely a quality basketball team, in a tough situation. We feel like that this only is going to make us better, as we advance on. And we told them at bats this week too, this is not an elimination game. But that point's going to come too. An elimination game means somebody's not going to play anymore, which really puts the heat on. So this is the time of the year. It's playoff time. It's tournament time. And hopefully we'll respond to it. And I think we'll play a lot better basketball game. And again, like I said last week, we managed to come back and really had a couple opportunities. We were even up and almost going up 2 with 2 minutes to go. So we're anxious to play, and we'll see what happens.
A lot on the line, as we mentioned. Always a lot on the line when we start doing some shout-outs. What do you have for me tonight?
All right. Big Colonel shout-outs on playoff night here, too, as always. My father and Dottie listened in, and Buena Vista fans that will reveal before the year's over with. Vinny and Billy in Florida. Billy continues to work his rehab, and we're certainly keeping him in our prayers. Micah, Heather, Miranda, McKinley, and little brother that's not here yet, but he will be soon. And for Micah, his Ravens are the champs, so he's real excited. Went to the parade up there. I know he liked that.
He better make a donation so they can keep Joe Flacco too.
Yeah, he better do that because Flacco is the hot man out there. Flacco had a great game, great playoff. His class act. Ashley and Nick, I know Ash is listening in, and she can't be there with us tonight. And Fran in Philly, Ann and Chris in Maryland, and Swanson, our neighbors. And we've got quite a few Colonel fans down. So any other Colonel fans that are out there, certainly listening to a big playoff game with Dan River.
Well, Coach, as always, best of luck, and I hope I'm not talking to you until before next Wednesday with the tournament starting Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I hope I'm not talking to you before Monday, hopefully before Wednesday.
We hope so too, Bob. Thanks a lot.
Mike Cardellaro on the pregame show. Subway pregame show continues after this timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
Check out these new in-store specials at your local Apple Market. Energize with 2 12-ounce Red Bulls for just $5. Or grab an extra large bag of Doritos for just $3.49 and a 24-pack of Coke only $6.99. Or enjoy a tasty chicken tender sandwich for just $2.49 at Riverside or Main Street in the Gretna Apple Market locations. Visit the Apple Market's convenience stores soon.
The following is brought to you by English Construction Company.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Virginia High School League and the Virginia Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Last night I had the pleasure to catch up with Kenny Murphy, the head coach of the Dan River Wildcats. Dan River won the last one. Altavista looking to even it tonight in a big game. Here's Kenny Murphy from Dan River High School, head coach on the Subway pregame show on 105.5 KD Country.
Dan River and Altavista back here on the Subway pregame show. Kenny Murphy, the head coach of the Wildcats, joining me. And, Coach, obviously a big game. This determines the regular season champ and who doesn't have to play in that first-round tournament game. Altavista a little bit maybe more fresh than you guys. They didn't play since Saturday. You guys have had 2 games this week. How difficult do you think that makes that in terms of not only being physically prepared but also mentally prepared for the game against the Colonels?
Well, there's going to be a physical game tomorrow. We know the 2 twin brothers, they're very physical, and like you mentioned earlier, we have played back-to-back games this week. We had a very light practice today, and hopefully that, we can change a little bit of our strategy. We may pressure or may not pressure the ball, depending upon how things go in the first couple minutes of the game. But like you said, we are kind of wore down a little bit this last week and a half with the amount of games that we've been played and with the least amount of games or days off.
Kind of compare and contrast the first Altavista game from this season at their place and then the game last Friday night over in Ringgold.
Well, two things. Again, it was tempo. When we was at their place, they did take the tempo to being a low scores in the 30s or the 20s, somewhere at least in the low 30s. When they came to our place, we want to take the tempo, make it enough tempo game to where we can be in the high 50s or low 60s. Still want to continue to try to pressure the ball as much as we can when time permits or when the situation permits. We will pressure as much as we can. We still got to keep them off balance. You know, they run good sets, backdoor screens, and they like to post up the two twin Johnson brothers. And we just got to do a better job in putting those passes and not allow them to get down into the low box.
You touched on tempo. I thought you guys did an excellent job at their place in terms of, not panicking when they controlled the tempo. I mean, obviously you guys have a shot to win the game down there towards the end, but at the same time, I think a lot of people think Altavista is just a slow-down team, but like you mentioned, the Johnsons and Thornhill, they can pick it up when they need to. Is tempo overrated to a point, or is it underrated in your opinion?
You make a good point. It's a combination of both. It all depends on how the game flows, And like you said, I remember after watching the game film, they were pushing the ball. I mean, when we played here last Friday, they pushed the ball pretty good against us, and we were getting kind of lazy getting back on transition D, and they got a couple baskets out of that. So it depends on how the game flows and where's the ball's at on the floor, and what play dictates whether it's going to be a transition D or a transition offensive play.
You've been around Dan River for a while, obviously helping out with the previous regime of Jacob Gruss and everything. And, when I look at Dan River in the recent past, Darren White, outstanding individual player. Paul Stone, outstanding individual player. Trey Edmonds could hit a big shot when you needed it to. And I think this team might be more balanced in terms of maybe there's not that one guy, although people that saw last Friday night's game might say Adams was definitely that guy in the fourth quarter with 17 of 19 in the fourth. But talk about the balance of this Wildcat group to maybe where you don't have that stud, but you got a lot of horses that can go.
That makes my life a little bit easier, having that balance with that. And it makes, hopefully, it causes a little havoc on the defensive side for the other team to try to shut down just one person. It does open things up because it gives an opportunity for more than just one guy to score. And yes, and with Tyrone Adams, yes, he is, when he's on, but when he's off, he's hard to bring back around. But that balanced attack does make life a little easier for all of us because you just can't shut one person down or focus on one person. And I noticed with Mike's matchup, he had the twins playing, one playing Terrell Edmonds, and he had the other brother playing Bishawn Jones. And leaving some of our other guys with a mismatch that we have not exploited yet. And hopefully if those matchups are there tomorrow night, we have to attack those matchups.
One area where I really look at where you guys have an advantage over Altavista is definitely length on the perimeter. But aside from that being said, what do you see in this team that maybe you haven't seen in some of those Dan River teams in the past that have gone to Richmond and played in that final two games?
It's a scary team because I still say, and I speak to them day in and day out at practice and before game speeches, that they really haven't reached their peak yet. I mean, if you look at those three games they had back to back at the Register and B, how they played those three games and kind of wore down that third game. I think just will enter that floor. But this team really hasn't reached their peak yet. They're upping it down, and hopefully they can get off this roller coaster ride that they're on and just get out to an even keel and just maintain it because they don't realize how good they can be. And like you said, with that balanced scoring that we do have, it's a scary team if they really can pull things together and understand what they're working with and work with each other, it's a very scary team.
Couple final questions. Obviously, you know of Mike Carlero's reputation, and you know him in terms of he's going to make some adjustments against you guys from last Friday night. How important is it that you guys kind of don't try to outthink each other and, you know, adjust so much to where Dan River's not being Dan River and Altavista's not being Altavista?
Well, you can't take the chess match out of it. That's one thing you can't do. And the chess match is going to be there. I'm not sure how much adjustment I'm going to do because I noticed he's made a couple adjustments. And again, like I said, if those mismatches are there and he's continuing to lead them there and not don't exploit them, I mean, that's on me because I have to attack those mismatches when they're there.
Give me 2 or 3 keys in closing, Coach, that can give you guys a win and not have to worry about a game on Monday.
Defensive pressure. We got to keep the defensive pressure up to disrupt their offensive flow. We got to ball pressure the guards as usual. Keep the ball in the middle of the floor. That way, if you keep away from the sidelines, because I tell my guys, you know, stop them from running up the sidelines. Keep the ball in the middle of the floor so that we can see, everybody can see where the ball is at, versus trying to jump trap and get those guys layups. We just have to really stay focused on the defensive end of the floor, rotate and help, and climb the lanes. Because if they're not, they're going to get backdoor cuts, and it's going to be a layup drill. The one thing I did try to focus on is trying to front that pass of the 2 twins versus playing behind them. That's one thing we need to look at tomorrow on the first couple possessions to see how that works out. And if it works out pretty good, we're just going to stick with it.
Coach, it should be a fun one. Definitely best of luck against the Colonels, and we hope we can talk to you down the road.
Okay, thank you.
From Kenny Murphy, head coach of the Dan River Wildcats. We'll be back with the starting lineups right after this timeout on the Subway pregame show on 105.5 KD Country.
Installing Atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted Atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29, Altavista.
Try a variety of daily lunch specials priced under $4 at El Cazador Restaurant. The people that brought the first Mexican food to the area 13 years ago and still going strong 7 days a week. Come by for Mexican or American food, all reasonably priced, with drink specials and great service too. Voted best Mexican restaurant by you, their customers, El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, Main Street in Altavista. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant thanks you for your loyalty and your business.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista, Dan River, just about ready to go. Kyle Haney, give me some lineups, please.
Absolutely. Starters tonight for the Dan River Wildcats, who are the visiting team in their road blues. Number 12, D. McMorran. Number 22, Terrell Edmonds. Number 30, Tyquan Adams. Number 33, Tyleek Edmonds. And number 44, Bayshawn Jones. And on the other side for the Altavista Colonels, they're going to go with sophomore Juan Thornhill, another sophomore Demetrius Johnson, his brother, another sophomore Darius Johnson, junior Richard Hubbard, and senior Jake the Snake, Jake McClure will round out their starting 5.
Tell you what, if you got a problem getting excited for this one, you got problems.
Yeah, definitely. This is a high intensity, high enthusiasm for us and the fans and the players. Wouldn't be possible without our sponsors, Apple Markets. Check out the 3 great locations, all with weekly specials. Finch & Finch Fuel and Cremation Services, a family serving families since 1905. English Construction Company, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Feller Chevrolet, where a short drive will save you money. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, voted best Mexican restaurant by their customers. English's, your complete home center. See them for Atrium Vinyl Windows. In the First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience.
Bobby Walker, Mike Thorne, Jason Morgan. Bobby Walker tosses it up. Ball is tipped out, and it's going to go to Dan River. Dan River dressed in their royal blue, white striping down the side, numeral in white on the back. Altavista in the home whites, orange striping down the side, diamond shape at the bottom of the leg with an A in the middle. Colonels on the front of the jersey. Just underway, no score. Edmonds with the basketball. Ty Leak looking for somewhere to go and goes to Juan Thornhill. He doesn't play for Dan River. Problem for the Wildcats. Thornhill will start. Altavista on the right in the first half. Dan River will go to our left. Basketball is going to belong to Altavista. Thornhill drives in, cut off by two Wildcats, pitches back out to McClure. McClure swings it. Three-pointer hoisted up and in. Richard Hubbard gets things started. 26 seconds in. Colonel's lead.
Richard Hubbard, big shot there from the right wing. Nice extra pass by Jacob McClure. Early 3-0 lead to the Colonels.
Richard Hubbard, the only man that scored, not named Johnson or Thornhill in the last game against these two. 55 of 58 came from the Super Sauce. Dan River with the basketball. It's going to belong to Tyquan Adams. Adams backs down McClure. Adams tries to sneak a pass down low. It's going to be taken away, and the basketball is going to belong to Altavista. Or maybe it's staying to Dan River on second thought.
Yeah, we
51 seconds.
We are courtside, Bob, so we're in the splash zone, and sometimes we don't always get the best angles on the far side of the court, too, which is where Dan River's scoring.
Jones drives in, or McMorrow, pardon me. He's going to be fouled. And the foul is going to go against Hubbard. It's Hubbard's first, team's first. Comes 55 seconds in. It's going to send D. McMorrow to the free throw line, and we've talked about it ad nauseum during last week's game, but McMorrow also was a major headache for the Colonels on the football field.
Big time. Great running back, great player all around. He banks in that first free throw. Probably not the way he drew it up, but you're shooting straight on, so you'd rather be long than short. At least if you're long, you have a chance to bank it off there.
A man once told me no pictures on the scoreboard. McMorrow, right, sinks them both. 3-2, Altavista, 1 minute in. Colonels with the basketball. It's going to belong to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson zigzags all the way in and gets two, and he's going to be fouled. That's going to go against Tyquan Adams, I believe, and it's going to send Altavista to the stripe. Normally you don't think Demetrius is going to handle the rock from perimeter to post, but he did tonight.
Yeah, Demetrius has got to move with the dribble. He takes it a long way there, gets fouled in the act, and count the bucket. So chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. Colonel scored with the new-fashioned perimeter long-range three-point play earlier with Hubbard. Now Demetrius has got a chance to get the third one from the foul line here. 5-2.
One team foul apiece as we have played just over a minute. Johnson looking to extend the lead to 4. Cannot, misses. Rebounded Dan River. Colonels really had a rough night from the free throw line on Saturday.
Friday wasn't a whole lot better either, Bob. They were under 50%.
Wildcats stick it down low. Now throw it back out to Bayshawn Jones. Jones, it looked like might have taken a step or two. Throws it away, and it's going back to Altavista.
Excuse me, they were right at 50% in that last Dan River game.
Well, and the second half has been the house of horrors.
Right. Normally people talk about Dan River's free throw shooting being suspect. They actually shot a better percentage down there in Ringgold than the Colonels did.
First game, like you said, vice versa. Altavista had the better luck from the stripe. Dan River, not so good. Thornhill with the basketball between the circles. Juan puts it on the floor, gets it into Johnson, and Darius sticks in two from the far block. It's 7-2 Altavista.
It's all set up by the dribble penetration from Juan Thornhill. Then Dan River throws it away on the other end, Bob. Kenny Murphy doesn't like where things are headed. He wants a timeout.
Will stop as well. 6 minutes and 17 seconds to go in quarter one. Altavista up 5 on KD Country.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Kenny Murphy didn't like the direction things were headed, like Kyle said, calls a timeout. 7-2 Altavista, 6:15 to go, or 6:16 to go in quarter one. Dan River's going to get the basketball back. You know, the one thing, though, is if you're Altavista, you can't get too excited too early.
Yeah, and they couldn't get the ball in bounds there, though, so the timeout was well-deserved and well taken by Dan River. They end up getting the ball back as Altavista throws it away, trying to get it in on that full-court press.
Terrell Edmonds with the basketball, gives it up to D. McMorrow. I'll tell you, all-district team will come out next week after the tournament, but I'll tell you, we got a lot of all-district players right here tonight. Dan River sticks it down low on the block. It's Terrell Edmonds for two, and it's 7-4. And now Dan River's going to show some full court.
Yeah, and this is what caused Altavista some trouble in the second meeting. Didn't use it much in the first meeting. Let's see how much they use it in this one.
Thornhill with the basketball beyond the arc now to the free throw line. Juan cut off, gets it over to Hubbard. Hubbard drives, cut off, now over to Thornhill. Thornhill with the basketball, lost it, picked up by McClure. McClure puts it on the floor with the left, looking for somewhere to go, needs some help, finds Hubbard. Free throw line extended. Hubbard sticks it in to Johnson. Johnson having trouble with it, and Darius bailed out with a foul.
I think it's going to be on base Sean Jones. He was battling with Darius the whole time, playing some man-to-man defense there. Wildcats defense was good, but the foul is going to give Altavista a chance to reset things. 5:28 to play in the Apple Market first quarter. Colonel's up 3.
Hubbard throws it in. Thornhill with it. Thornhill shovels it off to Darius Johnson. Johnson takes the shot up. Can't get the fall. Rebound comes down to Tremaine Edmonds, who's in the game for Dan River. Altavista still going with the original 5. Wildcats basketball. McMorrow has it. McMorrow guarded by Hubbard. McMorrow gives it off. That's Edmonds. He's going to stick it up and in. Tremaine Edmonds. He's got 2 for Dan River right there, and it's 7-6 Colonels.
Coach Cardalero not real happy with the defensive effort there. Nobody has substituted yet, Bob. Keep an eye on that.
Thornhill is going to go to the line as he will be fouled. That's the 3rd foul on Dan River. 1 against Altavista with 4:55 to go. And Thornhill is going to shoot a pair.
Before this first foul shot, Bob, we got a chance to tell you that the first quarter is sponsored by Apple Markets. 3 great locations: Main Street, Gateway, Riverside. There's always one close by. First free throw up and in for Thornhill. And Michi Malback will be our first substitute of the ball game.
Malback was not around for a lot of the game last week. Couple quick technicals, and he was gone by the end of the first?
I think he was gone before the first quarter was over. The stat sheet says he's got a rebound and a steal from last game, but not much else.
9-6 Altavista, and a whistle, and it's going to be a foul on the Colonels, I believe.
Fouls on Malback, his first. 4:49 to play here in the first quarter. Altavista up 3, 9-6.
Wildcats with the rock. D. McMorrow crosses it over Malback, throws it in the corner to the left side. Now Bayshawn Jones with it. Jones puts it on the floor, kicks it back over to McMorrow. McMorrow inside, gives it off, and travel's going to be the call. It's going to give the basketball back over to Altavista.
And it was good defense from the Colonels, really moving their feet, getting in front of Dan River, not letting them have a free reign and a free run to the basket. That makes it tough on the Wildcats. Wildcats can play some defense too, full court pressure.
Colonels with the basketball. Thornhill gets it. Now Thornhill looking for somewhere to go, directing traffic. Thornhill over to Malback, middle of the floor, now to McClure. Back over to Malback. Malback trying to find somebody and finds Thornhill. Tell you what, all the traffic is not going in front of the Altavista bench tonight. It's going in front of us.
Some of it in front of us. Yeah, and it's going to be tight quarters here all night. We got a capacity crowd. I think they're going to enjoy every second of this one, Alvis.
Malback with the basketball, throws it back to Thornhill. Halfway through period 1, 9-6. Home team, which is Altavista tonight here at Gretna High School. Darius Johnson falls down, gets back up. Demetrius drives all the way to the rack, puts it up, can't get it to fall down. Darius trying to out-rebound 4 Wildcats. Not good numbers. Edmonds with it, shovels it off. Edmonds to Edmonds. Now Bayshawn. Jones drives in, gets in front of the free throw line, puts it up off the window and in. 9-8. Altavista.
Nice move there, using the dribble and then the jump step, got to the basket very effectively. Might have been an extra half a step in there too, but it was a great move by Jones.
Tell you what, Bayshawn Jones made a believer out of me last week because he played a solid game and probably would have been our player of the game had Adams not gone insane in the fourth quarter. Malback is going to be bailed out as there was a foul on him. A lot of the contingency from Ringgold wanted a 5-second call.
Close to a 5-second call. You're right. And you mentioned Adams getting hot. Tyrone Adams last week Interestingly enough, we haven't seen him in the ball game yet. There's only 3:18 to go here in this first quarter, so let's keep an eye on that as well. He is dangerous coming off that Dan River bench.
Well, Coach Murphy said in the interview, I mean, when he's hot, but when he's cold, they have a hard time picking him up. But I'll tell you, if it's high risk, high reward, I'll take it.
Yeah.
If I'm a Dan River fan after what happened last week. Thornhill with the rock. Between the circles, now over to Malbeck, right wing. Meachy lobs it into Darius Johnson. Johnson looking for some room, takes a shot up, and McMoore comes around with the cheapie. As McMoore did not get much skin, but enough for the whistle to blow. And I think that's McMoore's second. It's the fifth on the Wildcats.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Darius will go to the free throw line and shoot some more. Tyrone Adams is at that scorer's table ready to check in. First free throw, no good from Darius Johnson.
McMoore will come out. And, I said that was McMoore's second. I thought McMoore picked him up, bang, bang. I mean, the last two fouls belonged to D. McMoore. Second free throw by Darius. That's no good. Rebounded by Dan River. If you're Altavista, I don't think you like to see this early. Struggles from the stripe.
No, 2 for 5 early from the free throw line. You're going to get a foul here as Tremaine Edmonds was trying to bring the basketball up. This is going to be on number 10, Darius Johnson.
It's his first, third one on the Colonels. I'd say the game's being called relatively tight here early on, and maybe rightfully so.
And a good crew here tonight. They were going to try and find the best they could for this matchup.
Bayshon, kick out, three-pointer by the Wildcats. No good. It's going to be short. Good job by Josh Walker to box out number 30, Taekwon Adams, that whole way.
Yeah, great box out by Walker, and then a great rebound because of it.
Thornhill stuck up in the air, gets it off to Malbeck, and Malbeck's going to be fouled. That foul is going to go against Bayshon Jones. And I think that's only Jones's, so that's Jones's second.
Wow. There's two big guns for Dan River that have 2 fouls, and 2 fouls is not a big deal early. It's just if you pick up that third one before halftime, then all of a sudden there's some cause for concern.
Well, I'll tell you, I've always said that Dan River has a deep team, but no matter how deep you are, I don't think Kenny Murphy wants to see two of the stud horses with 2 fouls and not even 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, even if you're deep, your starters are your starters for a reason. You don't want them in foul trouble.
Colonels with the basketball. The pass intended for Johnson's a little errant. Dan River with the steal. Edmonds comes down. Edmonds takes it up. Edmonds takes it in. Dan River contingency might want some contact on that as Terrell Edmonds sinks 2, and the Wildcats have their first lead of the evening at 10-9.
10-9, slim 1-point lead. Great defense right here by the Wildcats.
Ball back in trouble. Gets it off to Thornhill. And 10 seconds is the call.
Colonels never broke the timeline, never got it past half court, Bob.
Tell you what, Dan River, we talk and gush about how good Altavista is defensively. Probably not gushing enough about it because they're one of the best. But I'll tell you, Dan River is no slouch in that full court defense.
Absolutely. That time it was just full court man-to-man, making it really tough on the Colonels.
3 ball by the Wildcats, no good. Basketball comes down. About 3 Colonels had hands on it, and nobody could corral it. And it's going to go back to Dan River with 1:44 to go in this opening quarter. 10-9 is our score. Wildcats with the 1-point lead. Dan River looking to get it in. They'll get it into the big man, Taekwon Adams. I'll tell you, when you say the big man on Dan River, you could be talking about anybody, for heaven's sakes. Tyrone Adams with the basketball, guarded by Malbeck. Adams trying to lose him. Meachy, good athlete. Adams pulls it. It's a long 2 for Tyrone Adams. 12-9 Dan River.
Very long 2. Adams using the dribble, trying to shake Malbeck. He never really got him off him, but he pulled up anyway. Great long jump shot there from Tyrone Adams.
Adams got a little bit of a size advantage on Meachy, not just with the high top fade. Johnson sticks it inside. Can't get it to fall. Demetrius tried to go upstairs for the rebound, and smart play by Dan Rivers, number 30. Taekwon Adams, the basketball IQ exhibited as he just threw it off Darius Johnson and let it go out of bounds. Sub's going to enter for Altavista. McClure is going to check in along with Eric Poindexter. They will join the Johnson brothers and Juan Thornhill on the floor. For Dan River, you've got Terrell Edmonds on the floor. You also have Rayshawn Myers, number 34, Taekwon Adams, and Tyrone Adams both. And I would be willing to bet probably another Edmonds floating around. Terrell and Tremaine both in the game right now.
Ball goes out of bounds off the Wildcats, Bob. Altavista will take over. Just under a minute to play here in the Apple Market first quarter.
58.1 remaining in the opening stanza. 12-9. Altavista trails. Thornhill gets it off to Johnson. Nice penetration by Juan. Found Darius as the open man. Altavista back within a point.
Second or third time Juan has done that tonight. Slash down the middle and then hand it off.
But Dan River answers.
Tyrone Adams
for three.
The long one, the NBA range three-pointer. There's really no defense for that when a guy shoots it that far out, Bob.
Dan River up 4. Altavista could hold for 1 as we're under 30. Altavista, though, loses the basketball. Dan River's going to push it the other way. McClure with the hard foul. And a lot of the Dan River crowd wants them intentional. Kenny Murphy and Coach Bert Sparks jumps off the bench, but they're going to say no. And, McClure might have gotten away with one with the way that we see them call the intentional foul this year.
Well, he didn't get him from behind. That's what we've seen a lot this year. He kind of just gambled and tried to dive in at the ball. Easy for me to say. He didn't end up getting the ball. He ended up getting all of the body. So it was a hard foul, but I don't know that it was an intentional foul.
I'm just saying it's the way stuff looks sometimes.
Well, right, but I think most of those intentional ones this year, when a guy gets somebody from behind on a breakaway layup, first free throw was good by Edmonds.
Myers, 1 out of 2. Demetrius with the board. Johnson over to Thornhill, and now it looks like Altavista's got the patience for 1. Thornhill crosses the timeline, down to 15. Juan comes right side. Juan's going to go all the way to the rack himself, lays it up and lays it in. Thornhill with the kiss.
Great individual effort. Got a nice screen from Demetrius.
16-13, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Edmonds all the way down. Demetrius sends that one out with 0.9 to go. Now you really got to watch. This is a tricky time. Dan River, catch and shoot.
Yeah, 0.9 seconds. Watch the little lob pass near the basket, too, for a tip in.
Dan River having trouble getting it in. They get it in. The turnaround shot is up, and it's no good. We've played 8 minutes from Gretna High School. It's a Dogwood District playoff game between Dan River and Altavista. The Wildcats will take the lead to quarter number 2. 16-13 here on 105.5 KD Country.
The game is brought to you by these members of the Altavista Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, serving hometown pride with 18 flavors of milkshakes.
Comfort Inn in Altavista. Outdoor pool and free hot breakfast with your stay.
Steve's Florist, best quality at the best price for all occasions.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, authentic Mexican food, open 7 days a week.
Aubrey Rosser, attorney at law, Main Street, Altavista.
The Supply Restaurant, Lower Broad Street, Altavista. Give peace a chance.
China Walk Super Buffet, American and Chinese food with the newest item, crab.
Perkins Twin Tire and Auto Service, your Michelin tire store.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Bob Alvis, Kyle Haney, Oscar Briggs, the extra set of hands with us tonight as well. Nick Bailey back at home base. I'll tell you, Nick Bailey just solid as a rock.
Absolutely, and a game like this, Bob, Dogwood District extra playoff for a regular season championship, you got to have a full crew on board for this one. All hands on deck, as you would say. And I think you could say the same thing for both teams, although I was surprised they didn't really sub as much as I thought they might.
District play tournament gets underway next week, Monday.
Yeah, loser this
Monday will
right?
host Nelson. Tuesday, the ladies will be on the radio on 105.5 KD Country, and hopefully pretty much a game every night of the week next week except Thursday.
That's what we've got planned. A lot of basketball. It's all going to be live on 105.5, so you know where your dial has to be or your internet browser, kdcountry.com.
Demetrius Johnson with the travel. And, Demetrius had a couple good plays to where he's handled and going to the basket. That time, Demetrius just trying to handle up top. Nobody really came to him, and no knock on Demetrius, but he's not, I don't think he's designed to handle in all these situations.
Well, yeah, a lot of times he'll use that dribble and get to the basket quick. That time he was spinning around and give Dan Rivers' defense a lot of credit, too. They didn't let Demetrius go anywhere.
Edmonds guarded by Thornhill. Dan Rivers still looking for somewhere to go, and it's going to be a travel. When the Wildcats have the basketball, there are a lot of mismatches out there in terms of just size of Dan River versus Altavista, because Dan River's guys on the wings are, they're huge.
Yeah, Dan River, has got some size. Altavista is not a small team by any stretch of the imagination, but Dan River can throw 6'4", 6'6", 6'3" out there, and that makes it very tough on you when you're not used to it.
Right. Jacob McClure with the basketball. McClure looking for somewhere to go, gets it back to Thornhill. Juan trying to set something up. Demetrius comes high post. He'll screen. Thornhill can't go anywhere, but finds that explosive step. He's going to go to the rack, and he's going to get fouled. The foul, I think, is going to go against Tremaine Edmonds.
Juan has done that a few times tonight, penetrating to the basket, using the dribble. He's so quick. He's got the vision to see those little seams in the defense, just like he does on the football field. 2 for 2 from the line so far tonight. Make it 3 for 3, Bob. That one's in.
Bonus for Altavista for the last 7:04 of quarter 2. And I'll tell you, if they're in the bonus, Kyle, you've got to take advantage of that in several ways.
And we saw that a week ago. Altavista got into the bonus early. Maybe they didn't take full advantage of it from the free throw line.
And if you're Dan River, to me, make these next 3 fouls count. Thornhill misses. Darius with the board. Sticks it up, and it's going to roll around and fall down. What a teaser by Darius Johnson. That ball looked like it might rim out, but it goes down 16-16.
It took a while to go in. Great offensive rebound by Darius Johnson, just getting after that missed free throw.
But if you're Dan River, and as Rayshawn Myers has, and you can choose your fouls, I think you want the next 3 to be on the floor.
Yeah.
Just so it's a 1-and-1. 3-pointer hoisted up. No good. That was Tyrone Adams. Altavista with the basketball. Thornhill gets it over to Darius Johnson. Johnson far side block, sticks in 2.
What a look by number 2, Juan Thornhill, and then a great finish by Darius Johnson. Altavista's got the lead back in, the momentum, Bob.
And a timeout by Dan River. Kenny Murphy calls a full 1-minute timeout, 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go in quarter 2. Altavista 18, Dan River 16 on KD Country.
Don't you think it's time that your business account made you money? I'm Marion Marshall with First National Bank, and we've introduced a small business interest checking account that earns your business interest. That's right, interest. So for a progressive small business checking account, come to First National Bank today. We'll show how your business account will earn interest, and we'll provide you with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
18-16. Altavista by 2 with 6:20 left in quarter 2. Bob Alvis, Kyle Haney, Mr. Oscar Briggs, Nick Bailey back at home base. Kyle, Juan Thornhill, great penetrator, and he's also kicking out a lot and finding guys from the wing. Could that be softening Dan River to not expect him to shoot from outside, which, if you don't pay attention to Juan from the perimeter, that could be a price to pay later?
Absolutely. You got to give Juan Thornhill an extra step, because if you don't, he'll beat you to the basket with the dribble. So you sag off a little bit, and then if he's got some room, he'll shoot that 3 ball. He's also such a great passer. He can kick out to another 3-point shooter or dish it down low to one of the Johnsons.
Dan River dishes it down low as Terrell Edmonds threw it down low to Tyleek. Tyleek had the ball knock out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Dan River.
Thornhill got a block in there as well. The sophomore is a great defender in addition to being a great offensive player.
Tyrone Adams with the rock. Adams throws it left wing. Now back inside. Shot is up, and they're going to call Johnson with the foul. Johnson thought he had his hand straight up. That's Darius, and if so, it is number 2 on Darius Johnson.
Yeah, packed it straight down. I thought it was clean, but you can definitely see why it had the appearance of a foul, and you're absolutely right. Second foul for Darius Johnson. 5 team fouls on the Colonels so far in this one.
Tyquan Adams at the stripe for 2. First one down, 18-17. Tell you, Altavista playing on the home floor of their biggest rival, Gretna, sitting on the home bench. But I'll tell you, if Gretna's rival number 1, then Dan River might have that 1A occupied right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since they've come into the district, the Dogwood district. It's been a very good rivalry.
Thornhill with the basketball in the front court as Malbeck receives the pass. Michi drives, kicks to Demetrius. Now to McClure. Jake the Snake for 3. No good. Rebounded by Dan River. Terrell Edmonds with the board. Adams throws it back out to Edmonds. I got a good chance of being right if I say Edmonds to Adams at some point tonight. Yep. Wildcats sticking inside. Offensive foul on Tyquan Adams. Tell you what, Dan River is not getting a lot of these calls that are close to go their way so far.
Some of these 50-50 borderline calls, it does seem like they're going to the Colonels. You're right. Give Juan Thornhill a lot of credit. He took the charge. And if you read that article in the news in advance, very good article that talked about how Juan leads this team in taking charges this year, and that's a good stat. Coaches love that stat.
Yeah, Juan Thornhill is just solid as you can be. Thornhill looking for somewhere to go as he's going to call the play. Now over to Malbeck. Now to McClure. McClure to Thornhill, catches at the free throw line. Thornhill cut off by Dan Rivers' defense. 5 minutes exactly right now in quarter two. 18-17 Altavista. You got to think if Altavista would love to get this thing in the 30s again. Dan River, you heard Kenny Murphy in the pregame, 50s and 60s is our pace. A pass intended for Jacob McClure. And not received by Mr. McClure. Dan River gets the basketball back.
Yeah, great man-to-man defense from Dan River that possession. I mean, Altavista never got it closer than about 22 feet on that possession. Dan River's just making it really tough on the Colonels. They trail by 1, though, 18-17 Altavista lead.
Edmonds gives it up. It's going to be Rayshawn Myers driving all the way. Left hand from the far side, and Myers sticks it in for 2. 19-18.
Another lead change, and I don't know. At this pace, it's going to have a hard time staying in the 30s this ball game, Bob. 16-13 at the end of the first quarter. 19-18 now.
Yeah, it could be there by the half. Foul away from the basketball. That's going against Dan River.
Terrell Edmonds, I think.
He just tried to fight through the screen.
Yeah.
And Adams is trying to talk to the other official saying, hey, he was blocking, but I think that was a legit good call right there.
Yeah, and it just gets back to the old principle of who gets to that spot first. I mean, you can set a screen anywhere you want on the court. And if your feet are set, then you occupy that space, Bob. And it was just like Edmonds tried to run through Darius Johnson as Johnson was setting the screen.
Johnson at the stripe. 1-1.
He's 0 for 2 from the foul line so far here tonight, Bob. In fact, the only Colonel that's made foul shots has been Juan Thornhill.
4:19 remaining before the Subway halftime show. Altavista down by a point. Johnson can change that with a free throw, and he does. Tie ball game.
Second tie of the evening, Bob, if you don't count the 0-0 tie that we started out with. And I have a feeling it won't be the last tie we see in this one tonight.
It's funny to be at Gretna and look at the home board for Altavista's point total.
Right. But Altavista's been good here in this gym lately, right, Bob. I mean, you talked about it. It's been a while since the Colonels have lost here.
20-19. It's been a while since the Colonels have lost anywhere to Gretna. Myers sticks in, too, as he gets the pass on the low block and sticks it in. And it's 21-20. I'll tell you, seesaw. Whoever has the ball last might be a beneficiary here this evening. Malbeck with the basketball, trying to drive. Hands it back to Thornhill. Dan River lucky Tyrone Adams didn't get his hand caught as he was trying to guard Thornhill. Malbeck with the basketball. Malbeck drives all the way. Malbeck throws a pass deflected off Dan River, and I'll tell you, that's luck for Altavista because it bounced right into the hands of Thornhill. Now thrown down low to Johnson. Darius does a good job to make himself available. Can't get it to go. Wow. Demetrius with the tip.
Wow. He was off balance. He had to reach out and extend the wing there just to get a fingertip on it, and he did. Big block by Darius, but I think there was a foul before it on the other end.
Oscar Briggs gave me the look of, can you believe that? No, I cannot. What an athletic move by Demetrius. And the foul is going to go against number 5, Demetrius Johnson. His first, 6th one on Altavista. Next free throw, Dan River shooting at least 1-1. Next free throw, Altavista shooting 2 for the last 3 and some change.
Yeah, both teams have got their fair share of fouls, and you mentioned it. Referees are calling it tight. First free throw up and good. And I think you have to in a game like this because you know that both these two teams are going to really get after each other. You got to keep everybody in check. And I think the officials have done a great job at doing that tonight.
Knotted at 22. 23-22 as McMoore sinks a pair.
Yeah, McMoore perfect from the free throw line tonight. 4 for 4.
And, I don't think we got a lot of, I don't want to say chickens, but a lot of shaky legs out here in terms of guys that will get nervous at the drop of a pin.
Yeah, I don't think these guys on the court right now or on the bench for both teams mind the pressure one bit. They're big game players. They've been in a bunch of them, basketball and football.
Johnson, kick out, Malbeck for 3 from the corner. No good. Rebound, Dan River. Wildcats going to send it back the other way. McMoore with it on the left side. McMoore gets to the free throw line, cut off. Now has to get rid of it. Gets it off to Tyquan Adams. I'll tell you, we don't have to stand all night tonight, but I'll tell you, this is a standing work game.
Yeah, I think it's standing room only. Another long three from Adams.
Tyrone with the miss. Rebound by Thornhill. And we talked about Juan rebounding as a guard. Outstanding. Demetrius, free throw line jumper. It's up. It's going to rattle out. No good. Rebounded by Dan River. McMoore with the rock. And he'll walk it across. McMoore all the way to the rack and a foul. And it's going to go against Thornhill. That's number 7 on the Colonel. So it'll send McMoore to the line for 1-1, I believe, because I do not think he was in the act of shooting.
I don't think so. I think he got him on the floor with the body as McMoore was driving. First one on Thornhill, and that's a good sign for Altavista. You need to keep him out of foul trouble if possible. Dan River leading by 1, 23-22. Front end of a 1-1 on the way.
Well, I'd say the same for the Johnsons.
Very good point,
Bob. Misses the first.
You make a very good point. You can almost say the same thing for everybody on Altavista.
Darius has 2. I mean, Dan River's got a lot more long depth. I mean, Altavista's deep, too. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it's not long.
Yeah. And I said it earlier. It's all hands on deck. You need everybody, and you can't be effective if you're saddled on the bench with foul trouble.
This is game 7. Malbeck hands it off to Demetrius. 2 minutes remain. And that was McMoore's first free throw missed tonight, by the way.
Yep.
Thornhill with the rock.
Coach Cardellaro wants his team to spread the court out a little bit, make Dan River have to move around and guard a little bit more.
You know, I told Kenny Murphy last night during the interview, I think they did a great job being patient in game 1 at Altavista, but I don't know that that's Dan River basketball. Demetrius Johnson puts it on the floor, drives to the rack, has it blocked, and almost lost a limb. That was a hard block by Tyleek Edmonds. Dan River, 3. Adams not going to bounce down. Rebound is secured by Thornhill. He had traffic going up with him, but Juan comes down with the board. Juan, I'll tell you, more than solid here early. And a foul on the floor with 1:20 to go. 1:19 to be precise, and it's going to be 2 for Juan Thornhill.
Yeah, I don't think he was in the act of shooting, but Altavista will have the double bonus situation now since Dan River has 10 team fouls. And you mentioned Dan River being patient in that first game. You're right. I think they were. And I think Dan River can play a little bit slower, but, you probably nailed it. They don't prefer to play slow.
Yeah, and, I mean, Kenny Murphy, I don't think it was nerves on his end either of, a poorly coached game that first time by slowing it down. But I think he kind of got more, and he did not dictate the tempo, and I think he even said that in the interview. The tempo was not dictated that night by Altavista. Now, on the other side, as Thornhill misses the first, Josh Walker will check in. Walker, McClure, Demetrius Johnson, and Thornhill on the floor for Altavista. Altavista's not afraid to go up and down.
Exactly. Yeah, Altavista has got multiple speeds they can play. They can downshift and change gears and really make it interesting.
Thornhill misses 2. Rebound by Dan River. Wildcats with the basketball. Edmonds driving all the way down. Edmonds puts it up and in. That will beat Terrell Edmonds for the 2, and Dan River leads by 3.
Yeah, a 3-point lead seems like a big lead in this game, Bob.
Altavista with the basketball. Malbeck trying to get across midcourt.
Got to hurry.
I'll tell you, 9.8 on that one. Dan River again in the backcourt, outstanding. Walker with the basketball, cut off, looking for somewhere to go. Walker throws it back to Thornhill, and Altavista calls a timeout. So really, in my opinion, a good possession for Dan River because you force Altavista to burn 1 of the 5. 44.9 seconds to go. Dan River, 25, Altavista 22. We're back after this on KD Country.
Check out these new in-store specials at your local Apple Market. Energize with 2 12-ounce Red Bulls for just $5. Or grab an extra large bag of Doritos for just $3.49 and a 24-pack of Coke only $6.99. Or enjoy a tasty chicken tender sandwich for just $2.49 at Riverside or Main Street and Gretna Apple Market locations. Visit the Apple Market's convenience stores soon. You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
BANKH, 44.9 left to go before the Subway halftime show. Altavista down 3. Kyle, you've seen a lot of Altavista basketball in your time, too. Do they maybe take it down for 1 or take a good shot if it's there?
Yeah, I think if they got a really open look, they'll take it. But I think Coach Cardellaro in the timeout probably said, hey, try and work the clock. We don't have to hold for the last shot, but we could.
Darius with it. Darius fall-away shot, no good. Rebounded by Dan River. McClure gets it back on the tie-up and now tied up, and the arrow reads to Dan River. 21.6 to go.
Wild exchange there. I mean, Dan River got the rebound initially. Jacob McClure tore it away from him, and then Dan River is able to freeze it back and get the jump ball. So effectively, they never lost it, but very nice play by McClure.
And, we talked about Altavista. Do they want to hold for 44.9? I'm sure they wouldn't mind.
Right.
Dan River, other ideas, though. They can make you not be able to hold for 44.
I think the Wildcats will probably try and run this down. We're down to 10 seconds anyway.
Long shot by Dan River. It's a 2. And it's Barry Martin for the deuce. And Thornhill almost loses it. Thornhill gets over the ball back. It's going to go into the seats, and that will do it for quarter number 2. Dan River, a late surge, puts the Wildcats ahead 5. We'll be back with the Subway halftime show after this timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
The following is brought to you by English Construction Company.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Virginia High School League and the Virginia Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Try a variety of daily lunch specials priced under $4 at El Cazador Restaurant. The people that brought the first Mexican food to the area 13 years ago and still going strong 7 days a week. Come by for Mexican or American food, all reasonably priced, with drink specials and great service too. Voted best Mexican restaurant by you, their customers, El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, Main Street in Altavista. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant thanks you for your loyalty and your business.
Installing atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista trails Dan River 27-22 at intermission. Bob Alvis, Kyle Haney alongside, and KH, Dan River, almost a repeat of game 2 in terms of the defense, because only 4 guys have scored. They were the same 4 guys that scored all game last game.
Yeah, Hubbard, Demetrius Johnson, Darius Johnson, and Thornhill are the only guys that have points for Altavista. And I've always said it, I think as a coach, you don't really worry about it during the game. But I don't know, maybe in this one you do worry about it. You'd love for somebody else to get some points. But first and foremost, you'd love to have more points than the other team, Bob.
Yeah, I've always said that's a good way to win some games down the stretch. Dan River in control right now, 27-22. Wildcats won the first quarter 16-13, won the second quarter 11-9. But, I mean, 2 points in this game, huge. Could be huge.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I said, when it got out to be a 3-point lead, that felt like a big lead. Now it's a 5-point lead for the Wildcats, and Dan River has played very good. It was the late surge, like you talked about there in the second quarter, that has this lead. 2 ties in this one, Bob. I count 7 lead changes in this one, so it's been a tight ball game all the way through. Both teams with identical 11-1 records in the regular season, and of course, if you've listened to any, you probably know that Dan River has issued Altavista's only loss on the year. That came a week ago. Colonels are 17-1 overall, I believe. Does that sound right?
It's very close, if not right.
16-1, I think, actually. Didn't play one game against Randolph-Henry and didn't play one of each against Brookville and Rustburg. So, 17 ball games total. Colonels are 16-1, 11-1 in the district, like I said. And this was a good first half, Bob. This is what we thought it would be.
Outstanding first half. We'll take a break and come back with more basketball after this Subway halftime show. Dan River 27, Altavista 22 on KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
I'm Todd Hall, president of First National Bank. For over 100 years, we have proudly served our customers in Central Virginia, and we're excited about continuing to provide financial solutions into the future. At First National Bank, our focus is on you, the customer, and delivering a very high level of service is our top priority. In fact, our employees are empowered to make decisions that provide you an extraordinary customer experience. So stop in one of our 8 local branches and give us a try. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
The energy. Bob, Kyle Haney back here at the Subway halftime show at Gretna High School, Altavista. Dan River, KH, some point totals here real quick for Altavista. They're being led by Darius Johnson. He's got 10. 4 points from Demetrius Johnson. Juan Thornhill eclipsing him by a free throw with 5, and Richard Hubbard with 3. 4 Colonels have scored, Kyle. 8 Wildcats have scored so far. Terrell Edmonds has 6. Tyrone Adams has 5. Rayshawn Myers has 5 as well. D. McMoore with 4. Tremaine Edmonds and Bayshawn Jones, along with Barry Martin, each have 2. And a free throw goes down from Tyquan Adams. Dan River has a 5-point advantage. You know, again, 8 Wildcats have scored. 4 Colonels have scored. You can say that's overrated because, I mean, if the 4 Colonels score more than the 8 Wildcats, who cares?
Right.
But right now, Altavista production is being limited really to the Thornhill combination of the Super Softs, the Thornhill and the Johnsons.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I don't know. I don't think it's a case where Dan River is just saying, "Oh, we can forget about the other guys." No. I mean, you see the kind of respect they're giving Michi Malbeck. They're guarding Malbeck tightly. Same thing with McClure. They know Jacob McClure can shoot the 3 ball. Josh Walker's the same way. You know, they're trying to limit his chances as much as possible. So. And I'm going to chalk it up to a little bit more as just coincidence, and the fact that those 4 guys that have scored for Altavista are very good.
Well, and you bring it up. I mean, those guys that you mentioned from Altavista, McClure and Walker and Malbeck, I mean, they really haven't even had looks.
Right.
It's not shots, it's looks.
Yeah, Jacob McClure had 1 good look for 3 that he sort of rattled in and out, but you're right. The other guys, they just haven't had a lot of good looks at the basket, and I think, you got to credit Dan Rivers' defense for that. Wildcats have done a nice job defensively. And don't forget about the Colonels' defense. It's been very good, too. 1 or 2 little breakdowns here or there, but Altavista has played a very good basketball game. They only trail by 5, and as we know, I mean, that's, 2 possessions. That's nothing. That's a 3, a steal, and then a 2. You know, it's really doesn't take a lot to get back in this ball game.
Take a break and come back with more on the Subway halftime show. Altavista trails Dan River 27-22 on KD Country.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Try a variety of daily lunch specials priced under $4 at El Cazador Restaurant. The people that brought the first Mexican food to the area 13 years ago and still going strong 7 days a week. Come by for Mexican or American food, all reasonably priced, with drink specials and great service too. Voted best Mexican restaurant by you, their customers, El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, Main Street in Altavista. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant thanks you for your loyalty and your business.
Installing Atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted Atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Big thank you to our good friends at Subway. The halftime show brought to you by the good folks at Subway. One location on Main Street, one location in Walmart and Clarion Road. But both locations quality. Food and the customer service.
Yeah, and big thanks to Robert Duff. He's in the audience tonight. He makes it happen. If you need catering, if you need anything, call Robert there at the Subway in Altavista. They'll make it happen.
And who wouldn't want a Subway gift card for Valentine's Day?
That's a great point, Bob. You make an awesome point. You got to get your sweetheart something. Why not get him some food, him or her?
Yeah,
some food to Subway.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I won't decline a gift card from you.
That's
Mr.
right.
Haney.
I know you won't.
Adjustments at halftime, both sides.
Well, I think we got to bank on Altavista. They've had a week of practice, basically nothing since that Saturday game against Nelson. I think we'll see something new from them, whether it's on offense or maybe a little wrinkle on defense. I think they're going to pull out something that Dan River hasn't seen. I think it'll be a different kind of set plays on offense, ways to maybe free up some of their three-point shooters. For Dan River, I think their adjustment is just to keep the foot on the gas. I think they're playing well. They'd love to play better, but I think they're playing well right now.
I would agree with you on Altavista, except I don't think it's and I'm not saying you said this necessarily, but I don't think the wheel is going to be reinvented here.
No.
In half number 2. McClure with the basketball. Now over to Johnson. Johnson turns and fires. Demetrius gets it up and in.
Nice play by Demetrius. He had to really battle through a lot of contact. Most of it was on the floor, but a nice shot nonetheless.
Semi-quiet in the first half. Edmonds back the other way. That is Tremaine Edmonds for the Deuce. 29-24.
The crowd is large, but I don't think they've really gotten into it just yet. I think they're waiting for something big so they can explode.
Maybe this, a steal from Dan River and a foul. And I think it's going to go against one of the Johnson brothers.
Yeah, Demetrius got a block in there late. And you're right, it is on Jacob McClure. Got him with the body as he was going up. 29-24. Dan River leads. Third quarter brought to you by Apple Markets. Check out the weekly specials all game long.
If you're the Colonels, I think you wouldn't mind if Dan River went a little cold at the stripe.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you make your freebies and they miss theirs. 30-24.
Yeah, so far, I mean, in the first half, Dan River was 6 for 9 from the free throw line. That's over 50%, so I would qualify that as pretty good in high school basketball.
I'd retire after a game like that.
Made two more right there, so the percentage ain't getting any worse, Bob.
31-24. Hubbard gets it into Darius Johnson. Johnson will bring it up. Johnson doubled. Johnson lost it for a moment, picks it back up. In the corner, Walker for 3. Triples off. No good. Dan River with it. Wildcats going the other way. Shot up by Bayshawn Jones. Won't fall down. Darius Johnson with the rebound. Johnson does a good job to keep it away from all Dan River paws. And now Johnson in the front court. Don't get me wrong. I think the Johnson brothers can handle, but I don't think they want it in their hands as much as they do Thornhill. They're going to say Walker stepped out of bounds. Mike Carlero thought he was assisted in that endeavor, but the official says no. And a timeout by Altavista. The Wildcats delegation will get up a little bit. Dan River 31, Altavista 24. 6:46 remain in quarter 3.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Dan River leads 31-24. I was talking to Ty Gafford at the beginning of the evening. He knows a little bit about this game.
Yeah.
He did okay at Heritage as a girls basketball coach, and he said he
state final appearance.
Yeah, that's okay, in my opinion. He said he was expecting expecting the knockout punch to come from Dan River early. I think the Wildcats just peppered Altavista with some jabs, and now they're starting to throw a little bit of bombs. I mean, if you're Altavista, you cannot let Dan River get on any type of run without answering with the 2. Right now it's a 4-0 run, and the Wildcats have the basketball.
Yeah, Colonel's really got to step up, try and get a stop right here defensively.
Edmonds sinks in 2. That's Terrell, and the lead is 9.
Yeah,
the
now
largest of the evening.
It's a 6-point run, and that's about as much of a run as you want any team making, specifically Dan River, because they're so good.
Altavista in trouble. Thornhill finally gets across. Thornhill beyond the arc. Thornhill pitches back out to Darius. Now over to Walker. Swings it around the horn to Hubbard. Hubbard goes down low. The pass for Darius Johnson a little high. Dan River comes away with it. Altavista had their backs turned a little bit on defense. Wildcats are going to miss that one. But Bayshawn Jones will go to the stripe. I think that's on McClure, and I think that's number 2.
Yeah, and again, it's a chance for Dan River to extend this run. It's already a 6-0 run, like you said.
Number 3.
Yeah, that too. 6-3 run.
No, I mean 3 on McClure.
Oh, that's
I thought
3
it was
on
2
McClure.
on McClure.
Oh, I thought you were saying it was a 6-3 run.
No. You were right on the run. I was just popping that note in about the foul.
3 fouls on McClure.
McClure, Walker out. Michi and Demetrius back in. They join Thornhill and Hubbard and Darius.
And the first free throw was good while we were talking, too. So it's a 7-0 run. Now it's 8. Both free throws converted by Bayshawn Jones. You really have to give the Wildcats credit from the free throw line, Bob.
And I'll tell you, this is a big one because when you look at the regional criteria, this keeps you on line 1.
Right.
And even though Dan River and Altavista aren't in the same division, Altavista's got the only team to worry about really is Page County in terms of really taking something away from you in terms of a 1.
You want the highest seed possible in regional so you can host as many games as possible.
Demetrius tries to go down low to Darius. Foul called against Dan River. Altavista would host a game on that Wednesday of a week from this coming. And then on a Friday night, if Altavista has that 2 seed, they would have the luxury of having it at Amherst, if possible, according to what my information says.
Yeah, if you can host that second round game, that would be big. One less game you got to go on the road.
And the road is the road in the regionals.
Right. It's a long drive usually.
It's not to Naruna.
Yeah, I mean, we think of a long drive as being down to Ringgold or up to Nelson, but they're double that at least when you get into regionals.
5.5 to go in the quarter 3. Altavista's down 11. They've only got 2 points this quarter. Hubbard will fire from 3. It looks good. In and out and back in.
Wow. You talk about a member's bounce. It hit the back iron, then the front iron, then back to the backboard, and then it finally went in.
Open shot for Bayshawn Jones. Can't hit it. And Johnson, I thought was going to be called for the foul. Looked like they called it on Dan River.
They went back and changed it. Official just made a mistake. It was on Darius Johnson. That's his 3rd. Yep.
I'll tell you, I don't know if Richard Hubbard was talking dirty to that rim down there early on in shoot-around today, but not giving him some love there until the very, very end. 3 team fouls on Altavista, make it 4. That's on Thornhill, I believe.
Yeah. I think that's his 2nd. 4 team fouls in the half. 35-27, Dan River leads. It was back and forth in the first 2 quarters. Wildcats had a 5-point lead at halftime. They've stretched the lead out to 7.
McClure and Darius both with 3, Thornhill with 2. Dan River sticks it in. And it's in the hands of Taekwon Adams. Adams backing down to Demetrius Johnson. Adams takes it up, no good. Basketball rebounded, comes down, back down to Taekwon Adams. Now off to Bayshawn Jones. Jones over to Edmonds. Now Maul back. And all it takes is a little swing for Altavista to get a little bit of momentum. And they're right back in this. Darius might have gotten a piece of Edmonds.
The 3-pointer was no good, but Dan River rebounded it anyway, stuck it back up. 10-point lead for the Wildcats now. It's getting to be dangerous territory for Altavista.
Demetrius with the shot, but he's going to be fouled. I didn't catch. Did you catch who got that bucket for the Wildcats? I was busy watching Edmonds down right in front of me.
I believe it was Bayshawn Jones on the rebound. It really wasn't even a rebound because the shot never got to the basket. Then he recovered it. Jones recovered it and scored. 3rd foul here on D. McMoore. This is on the floor. Altavista will inbound under their own basket.
Farrell Edmonds popped up to complain about the foul against one of his sons. And I'll tell you, when Farrell pops up, you notice it. Because Mr. Edmonds, Coach Edmonds, he's a big man.
He's a large man, and he has got the commanding voice as well. Timeout. Maulback couldn't get it inbound, so he takes a timeout.
Colonels have to burn one. 4:36 to go in quarter 3. Altavista down 10 to Dan River here on 105.5 KD Country.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
4 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in quarter three. Altavista down 10. Michi Malbeck has to call that timeout, leaving the Colonels with, we believe, 2 or 3.
Two
left.
timeouts left. Unofficially, of course, as always, are all of our statistics. Colonels have got to be careful. They don't want to get this to a double-digit lead. It's double digits now, but they don't want it to be any worse.
Thornhill tries to get it, cannot. Dan River loses it out of bounds. I trust this more with the points and the fouls because they get popped up on the board.
Right.
But Gretna does not have the timeout ticker.
Yeah,
I guess you could say on the board here.
I've been trying to keep track of it. I think I'm right. I think the Colonels have taken 3 fouls, but again, or 3 timeouts, but don't quote me.
Demetrius is fouled. It's going to be on an Edmonds. It's on Tremaine. I thought you were going to say you tried to persuade Gretna to get a timeout ticker on the board.
No, and my persuasive qualities, I don't think it would have mattered, but maybe if somebody like you or Oscar went up there and told them to get some new scoreboards, they probably wouldn't listen to you either.
No,
They'd probably say, are you going to pay for it?
Edmonds with 3.
Probably
3 on the
you,
Wildcats.
if you pay for it, we'll get a Jumbotron.
Right, yeah.
We'll name it after you.
Malbeck with the basketball. Malbeck, free throw line, teardrop, no good. Rebounded by Dan River. And jump ball, and the arrow is giving it back to the Wildcats.
Little tentative on the shot there from Michi Malbeck. I think he might have been a little surprised he was as open as he was. He's been smothered mostly all night. Barry Martin checking in the game for the Wildcats. On the court for Altavista, you have Hubbard, Malbeck, both Johnsons, and Juan Thornhill.
Tell you what, Mike Carlero gets credit for being a great coach, and rightfully so, but Kenny Murphy, no slouch. I think Jacob Gruss got a lot of credit down in Ringo, rightfully so, but I'll tell you, Coach Murphy and that support staff for Dan River have kept the momentum going. And a steal and a foul against Dan River.
Yeah, it's on Tyrone Adams. He turned it over. Thornhill got the steal. Then he fouled Juan trying to get it back. And you're right, Kenny Murphy probably doesn't get the credit he deserves. It's his first year down there at Dan River. He's been in the program for a long time, but first year as a head varsity coach.
Darius Johnson on the block. Darius puts it up, and it'll rattle home.
Colonels
8-point lead for Dan River, 37-29.
Under 4 minutes to play here in this Apple Market third quarter. Altavista threatening to make a little run of their own, maybe.
Ball knocked up in the air. Good hand by Kyle Haney.
I had to play the bounce off the wall there. It was like the old green monster. I knew where it was going to hit. Caught it, calmly handed it off to Malbeck, and got a nice applause from one of our great officials, Mike Foran. Ball put in play, but the scores table is not ready yet.
Kyle Haney coming to a left field near you in Fenway. You have pro eligibility.
That's such a good point. I haven't started my pro career. You got to bring your best to the big games, and I try and rise to the occasion like you've taught me.
1 home run, 1 play off the monster. You got my Hall of Fame, folks. Malbeck with it. Just retire right then, though. 3:30 to go. 37-29. Malbeck looking to cut into it a little more. Too strong. Darius Johnson tries to get the rebound. Cannot. Dan River picks it up. McMoore. Bounce pass inside to Bayshawn Jones. Jones to Edmonds. Edmonds had it blocked. Darius Johnson on the block. The second try is going to go down for Edmonds, though. You got to give Dan River credit. They do not get rattled off of a good defensive play by Altavista.
That's right, and they don't give up either.
Contact stoppage.
I mean, the second one by Edmonds was even partially blocked a little bit, and he managed to just muscle it up to the rim. Contact comes out, so they call timeout. Yeah, and I think Coach Carlero doesn't mind because it's like a free timeout for him.
Right.
You see he's got his guys huddled up over there, Bob, and that's smart. McClure at the scores table ready to check in when we restart.
Believe me, that contact falls out and gets on the ground, and we got a search party.
Yeah.
39-29. And the bad thing is you don't know sometimes if it hits the ground or if it's stuck on your clothes.
Yeah, that's a good point. And, you got to give the official credit for seeing that. It was almost like Tremaine Edmonds was signaling for a timeout, but he was saying, hey, my contact fell out. I don't know. I mean, could you charge Dan River with a timeout there? I'm glad they didn't. Maybe in college you can get into that a little bit.
Altavista gets it inbounds. Basketball belongs to Thornhill. Gave it up to Demetrius, now back to Juan. Yeah, I don't know if that kind of counts as the injury or the shoe stoppage.
I think it must.
Under 3. Thornhill, nice move, spins inside, the soft touch goes down. Juan Thornhill, in the words of Mr. Vitale, he's a PTP'er, baby.
Absolutely, that cuts the lead to 7 for the Wildcats.
McMoore, kick out, three-pointer by Dan River, no good, in and out, rebounded by Thornhill. Actually 8, 39-31.
You're right, what a board there by Thornhill. He's doing everything.
3.
Look out.
Triple is no good, rebounded by Dan River. Colonels didn't have anybody on that strong side. Now that it looks like the Wildcats will slow down, but slowing down to them means going 65 and a 45. Jones sticks it up and gets it to go down. Actually, excuse me, that's Taekwon Adams.
Yeah, great low post play there by Adams. He hasn't done a lot of scoring here tonight, but he's got the big body and he can muscle people around. Back to a 10-point lead. Altavista's got to try and cut into that. Let's see if they can.
If I'm a Colonels fan or anything else, I want it at 6 by the end of the frame.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'll take it lower, but I want it at least at 6.
Yeah, and you got 2 minutes left, 1:58 to be exact, in this Apple Market third quarter. So, it's going to be tough to score 10 points in 2 minutes for anybody. So you're right. Try and get it down to something manageable, 5 or 6 point deficit. If you're Dan River, like you said, I don't think they prefer to slow down, but this might be the time to slow down just a little bit. Colonels basketball, they'll inbound underneath their own scoring basket. Down 10.
First foul on Rayshawn Myers, 5th on Dan River. Demetrius Johnson, Josh Walker, Richard Hubbard, Juan Thornhill, Jacob McClure out there for Altavista. Johnson in the corner. Puts it on the floor, brings it up top. McClure went the other way. Turnover. Going back to Dan River. $1:53 to go.
And that's what you can't have if you're Altavista. You can't have the possessions where you just turn it over and don't even get a shot up, don't even get a look at the basket. Again, credit Dan River with good defense.
Tyrone Adams with the rock, gives it up. Dan River looking for somewhere to go, and they'll go back to Adams. Adams up top. Adams will launch from deep. Three-pointers, no good. Rebounded by Demetrius Johnson. Tell you, if you're a Colonels fan, you got to have the something stuck in your throat every time Dan River fires the 3. McClure for 3. That's good.
Bang. Jake the Snake from the far corner in front of the Altavista bench. Good assist from Juan Thornhill to get it to him. Let's see if McClure can hit some more of those threes before this night is over.
Taking the charge would be huge right here, and he does that too.
Absolutely.
After that devastating dynamic trifecta DDT for the Snake. 41-34. $1:05 to go. Don't know how much Dan River really wants to put this ball up in the air. They miss. Altavista gets it back.
Yeah, they're taking some time. There's the shot.
Short. Rebounded by Thornhill. Altavista could cut to 4. Walker drives in. Walker all the way to the rack. Walker tosses it up. Good play because Walker found the contact, threw it up in the air, and he'll get 2.
Yeah, very heady play there by Walker. I think you make a great point. He found the contact. He was looking for a Dan River defender that might be off balance. He bumped into him, and he was able to just throw the ball close enough to the basket where it looked like he was in the act of shooting. First free throw, no good, however.
They need to start going down for Altavista because next foul, Dan River's going to send Wildcats to 1-1.
Right. Walker leads this team in free throw percentage around 76-77%. So he's the guy you want out there. He missed both.
Basketball rebounded by the Wildcats. Edmonds, 40 seconds. Driving in and off of Edmonds' fingertips. And it's going back to Altavista. Again, Altavista can cut it to 5, if not 4. 34.7 seconds to go. And I'll tell you, if you can hit a shot and not give Dan River time enough to get it back in bounds or get a shot up, I think that's momentum.
Yeah, that's ideal. That would really give you some great momentum going into the fourth. I think the bigger thing is you just get a good look at the basket, don't force anything up, and hopefully don't turn it over.
Thornhill in front of the Altavista bench over to Malbeck. Altavista to our left here in quarter 3. There on the far side, or the near side as you would enter Gretna High School gymnasium. Thornhill gives it back off to Demetrius. Johnson puts it on the floor, gives it off to Thornhill, and Thornhill is going to be fouled. I don't think it was on purpose, obviously, but just bad timing Yeah, for Adams, and it's 4, I think.
Right, and Adams really didn't see the ball. It bounced off of his back. Thornhill was going for it. Adams ran through him, and it is 4 on number 24. And he was the one that did the big damage last week in the fourth quarter.
With 4, I might add, too. And
that's a good point. That's a good point. Just because he has 4 doesn't mean he's not going to do any damage. Thornhill on the free throw line for a 1-and-1. These would be big, Bob.
Juan can sometimes be shaky with that first, but he got to hit it here to get a second. He misses. Thought the reverse jinx would come in play right there. Dan River with it. 3-2. Edmonds drives all the way, and they're going to call a block on McClure. Tough break for Altavista because it's going to be 2 shots. It's going to stop the clock with 1.2 left.
Jacob McClure did his best to get his feet set on that low block.
It's tough to get it there.
Go his way, absolutely, very tough. And Terrell Edmonds had a big head of steam going too, so you got to give McClure a lot of credit just for having the guts to stand in front of him. At least the layup didn't go in. Edmonds has got to earn him the hard way on the free throw stripe.
I don't know this for a fact, but I'm guessing Terrell Edmonds plays football.
He does. Both Edmonds do.
So he's not afraid to lower the shoulder and
not
go in.
afraid to lower the shoulder at all. Second free throw on the way, 1.2 seconds left. In fact, most of these guys for Dan River on that football team, Bob.
Dan River has no one on the line with Edmonds. Edmonds, his free throw is up. It's in. 42-34. Thornhill takes it. Thornhill's got to go long with it. Thornhill almost traveled. Thornhill gets it in. Edmonds steals it. Edmonds for 3. And they said the shot wouldn't have counted anyway. Altavista's got some work to do. They're down 8, 42-34. We've got 8 minutes left in quarter 4. We'll step aside and come back right after this timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
The game is brought to you by these members of the Altavista Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, serving hometown pride with 18 flavors of milkshakes.
Comfort Inn in Altavista. Outdoor pool and free hot breakfast with your stay.
Steve's Florist, best quality at the best price for all occasions.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, authentic Mexican food. Open 7 days a week.
Aubrey Rosser, attorney at law, Main Street, Altavista.
Piece of Pie Restaurant, Lower Broad Street, Altavista. Give peace a chance.
China Walk Super Buffet, American and Chinese food with the newest item, crab.
Perkins Twin Tire and Auto Service, your Michelin tire store.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Bob Alvis, Kyle Haney back here. 8 minutes to go. And Altavista's got some ground to make up. They're down 8.
Down 8. They were down 10, so at least it's not as bad as it could be. Give the Wildcats a lot of credit. Great third quarter for them. Altavista hung around, had some spurts of their own, but could never really go on a long, extended run, Mr. Alvis.
No, and Altavista hasn't won a quarter yet tonight. Now might be a good time. 15-8 outscored in that frame.
Now would be a great time. 42-34, they trail. Getting ready for a great fourth quarter of basketball here, Bob.
Now, you could say pressure's on Altavista down 8. I could argue pressure's on Dan River. They're up 8.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can spin that, and I think a good coach is going to spin that to his team's favor and make them feel comfortable in that huddle there in between the third and fourth quarters.
Darius Johnson was very silent in that third quarter for Altavista. Ball back over to Thornhill. He had 3 fouls, so part of it was silence from the bench.
Right.
Altavista's going to the line on every foul from here on out. Ball back to the rack. No good. Rebounded by Dan River. Winner of this one gets a bye until Wednesday. Loser gets Nelson County at their home gym on Monday. And when I say their home gym, I mean either at Altavista High School or in Ringgold. Right now it looks like the Governors don't have to make the trip down all the way 29. Inside, Dan River gets the little bunny. Counted for Tyquan Adams, 44-34.
Adams with the short one. Nice pass to get it to him, and now you're going to get a technical foul on number 12, D. McMoore for Dan River. Little bit of jawing going on. Kenny Murphy can't believe it. He's upset with him. He's saying, we've talked about this, guys. And you knew there were, based on the last game, last week there was 3 technical fouls, Bob, so the refs are going to watch the funny business.
4 on McMoore, too.
They're not going to let anybody get away with the extracurricular stuff. And you're right, 4 fouls on McMoore. He's a fantastic guard for Dan River, and their other fantastic guard, Tyrone Adams, has 4 as well.
Bird Sparks is doing a good job just to get the rest of the guys over there while Kenny Murphy chats with the official because D. McMoore is not going to change the official's mind. Altavista is cold as ice from the free throw line. Malbec can't hit.
Yeah, by my count, they have not made a free throw in this second half, Bob. I don't know that they've been there a ton, but they haven't made one in the second half.
Malbec, deep breath, bends the knees, shot up, shot in.
So there's the first one of the free throw line from the second half.
Well, the beauty part is they get the ball back.
Yeah, that's a big deal right now. Foul shots and possession. It's a 9-point deficit for the Colonels, 44-35.
Could cut to 6. I mean, with just one shot and 7 minutes left, if that happens, even if you cut to 7, heck, Altavista's back in it.
Well, they were never really out of it, but I definitely get your point. It would be awesome to get this thing down a little closer if you're a Colonel fan.
Inside, Darius Johnson pitches back out. Malbec with it. Malbec kicks. Thornhill, triple. It's too strong. Rebound is going to be loose and picked up by Demetrius Johnson. Demetrius in trouble. Gets it out to Malbec. His 3 is up. No good. Rebounded by Dan River. Colonels settle for 2 long ones.
Yeah, they had some very good looks at it there. Those would have been huge if they went down, but they did not go in. Got to go back and play defense.
Taekwon Adams backs down. Altavista in a foul. And I'll tell you what, I actually think Dan River giving Altavista the 3s right now. I mean, they don't want the Johnson brothers to go ape inside, so I think they're making them shoot from outside.
Right, I think you're exactly right. I don't know if I'd use the term giving them the 3. 4 fouls on Darius Johnson, by the way.
Bad news.
Yeah, but they're definitely sagging off. They're really conscious of the paint. They're not letting Altavista drive or get it to the Johnsons. So the 3 ball is open. Just a question of Altavista knocking them down. First free throw up and in from Adams.
I'll tell you, they're going to leave Darius out there, and really it's, you almost got to. Down 10 with 6:25 to go.
Right, it's a gamble, but I think it's a gamble you got to make at this point. Second free throw, no good from Adams, so that helps the Colonels a little bit. 10-point deficit.
You could see Darius say to Demetrius across the lane, I got 4 fouls.
Right. Oh, yeah, he knows, and he's going to play smart, but you can pick up one without trying very easily in this basketball game.
Well, he's going to play smart, but I still think he's going to play aggressive. He's not going to get soft.
Sure.
Malbec with the basketball. Altavista needs a score. Thornhill with it. Down 10, 6 minutes to go in quarter 4. Thornhill will try a 3 again. That's short. Front iron. Edmonds with the board. Edmonds had a man up ahead, and Edmonds opts not to go to Adams. Adams will get it inside.
Somebody has it.
Adams called a timeout.
Yeah, Adams fell to the ground, called the timeout, really as he was going down. Smart play by Mr. Taekwon Adams.
We'll take a timeout as well. 5:44 to go in quarter 4. Altavista down 45-35 on KD Country.
Have you looked at your business banking fees lately? I'm Sean Stone with First National Bank, and we have the best business accounts which offer serious savings for your company. We have a full menu of business products from checking accounts and remote deposit capture to online banking. And we have a local merchant card representative who will customize services just for your business. So let First National Bank prepare an analysis of your current activity and show how we will reduce your banking fees. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Basketball going to stay to the Wildcats as Taekwon Adams, very heady, call that timeout as he was getting into a bad shape. 45-35. Dan River up 10 with 5:44 to go. Not getting into anything of a miracle stage yet for Altavista, but they gotta be crisp and clean from here on out.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time, but you're right. They're going to have to play A-plus basketball from here on out to have a chance, and maybe going to have to hope that Dan River misses some foul shots down the stretch, possibly.
Dan River gets it into Adams. Taekwon guarded by McClure. Adams will control up top. Adams to the free throw line, pulls it back. Dan River going into a little bit of a pass the basketball game around. They can do that if they want.
That's exactly right.
And a tie-up and jump ball. Possession arrow will stay to Dan River, but Altavista gets the arrow back. 5:26 to go in quarter 4. Both teams will be in the bonus after the next Altavista foul. Dan River will shoot 1 and 1.
Yeah, exactly. And you mentioned it. I mean, Dan River, we think of them, normally as a transition, fast break team, but they can slow it down and wear you down in a half-court offense as well. They can spread the court, too, and run some time off the clock.
Dan River with it.
That's what they're doing right now. I mean, you can see them. They're not really looking to shoot right now, Bob.
Basketball belongs to Bayshawn Jones. Edmonds is going to go the other way. That's Jacob McClure taking that one, and that's on Tremaine Edmonds, and I think that's at least 4.
Yeah, McClure takes the charge. You could see it. It was a little give-and-go play with Edmonds and Bayshawn Jones, and McClure read it perfectly, stepped in there and took the charge. Now Altavista's got to break the timeline, Bob. Full court pressure.
Really struggling with the pressure. Dan River backs off. You know, Kyle, 2 threes tonight, both by Richard Hubbard.
Yep.
Thornhill with the basketball. Thornhill all the way up, takes it up, can't get it to go. Rebound by Darius Johnson. Johnson takes it up and in. And the foul will stop play with 4:57 to go.
Big play right there. They get the 2 points. They can score the extra point without the clock moving. And I thought about what you just said. Don't forget about the three-pointer Jacob McClure had.
That's it for Tremaine Edmonds, by the way.
Yeah, that's 5 on Tremaine Edmonds. You're right, and that's a big key cog in the wheel for Dan River. Edmonds did not start, but you know about what a great player he is, getting a well-deserved applause from the crowd as he exits towards the bench.
Very seldom can one player come out and a relative comes in. Edmonds for Edmonds, and Tyleek gives Dan River a little more size out there.
Yeah, Tyleek is the cousin of the other 2 Edmonds, Terrell and Tremaine, but a fantastic player in his own right, and you said it. He is long at 6'6".
Tell you, when he stretches those arms out, he's more than 6'6".
Got a wingspan that any coach would love, that's for sure. Eric Poindexter going to check in the game now with a Colonel.
I'll tell you, if Altavista can get a rally, mark that play.
Sure, absolutely.
45-38. Malbeck with it. Darius has got 4 fouls, and Michi's got 1 right there. That's the 7th foul against Altavista, so it's going to send Dan River to the line with 4:53 to go.
Just 2 fouls on Dimitri Malbeck, so that's a good thing. Malbeck's going to go over and talk it over with the official.
You know, we call Michi so much, sometimes I don't even remember his real name.
Well, he's listed on the scoreboard, or the program, whatever you want to call it, as Michi.
First one goes down.
So I guess it's like us calling you Bob. We don't have to call you Robert every time to know that even, what Bob stands for.
46-38. Well, we talked about Gretna. I mean, a lot of those football players, I mean, Lord knows what their real names were, because they were going by, Mookie and everything else, dating back to the Thurman regime.
Edmonds sinks 2. Everybody needs a good nickname. Dan River continues to be good from the free throw stripe, Bob. It's really fantastic what they've done from the foul line. You've got to take your hat off to Coach Kenny Murphy and his squad just for their improvements that they've made from the free throw line.
Altavista needs to score. 47-38. Dimitri Johnson drives down. Can't get to go. Hubbard drives in, loses it. Arrow reads Altavista. And it'll stay there.
So that'll save the Colonels almost a turnover there. They get the possession back because of the possession arrow, but that means the next one, when there's a tie-up, will go to Dan River.
Demetrius Johnson, Darius Johnson, Juan Thornhill, Richard Hubbard, and Michi Malbeck on the floor for Altavista. Thornhill looking for somewhere to go, gets it into Hubbard. Richard brings it back out up top. Now over to Thornhill. Thornhill with it. Thornhill has had a rough night from beyond the arc. 4:25 to go. Altavista down 9. And a bump on Edmonds, and it's going to send Juan to the line for 2.
That's good news. Altavista's in the double bonus now.
Terrell's second. Bad news is Altavista's back at the line, though.
Right, and they have not been good from there really all game, but particularly in the second half. Let's see if they can improve here. First one up from Thornhill is good. And, Bob, don't forget this fourth quarter brought to you by Apple Markets, a proud supporter of high school athletics. Your boy, Canavis Jones, will check in the game with 4:24 to play.
Navy, definitely one of the most undersized guys out there right now.
But one of the quickest
also.
I
was going to say, that can be the benefit.
I know you were. I just beat you to it.
We're like a couple. You can almost finish my sentences. That's sad. We got to stop that.
Very sad.
Thornhill will get the second one to fall down. Big for Altavista to get them without the clock moving. 4:24 left. They're down 7.
Without a doubt. I said they hadn't hit any free throws in the second half. They had until the fourth quarter, but in the fourth quarter, they're 4 for 5, Bob, so they've been good.
Bayshawn Jones guarded by Demetrius Johnson. Now it's over to Tyquan Adams. Now Rayshawn Myers will take. Gets it back to Edmonds. Malbeck guarding Edmonds. Dan River going to the line on the next one. Good break for Altavista. The pass hit a knee of Navy Jones. Malbeck gets in 2. Now it's down to 5.
Big play there by Canavis Jones and Michi Malbeck, two of the fastest guys on the court for Altavista, and they're making a difference immediately.
Dan River with it. Edmonds drives down. Edmonds hit from behind by Malbeck. And Justin Feldkamp showing off the soccer skills.
Fancy footwork. I made the great catch off the wall. He doesn't even use the hands. He just kicks it right up to Demetrius
busy
Johnson.
with the hands.
That's right.
Got a camera.
Terrell Edmonds will head to the free throw line. I believe this is a 1-and-1. Referee says it is.
Malbeck's third.
Of course, the way Dan River's been shooting, he'll make the first one and get the second one.
1-and-1. Edmonds at the stripe. This is Tremaine Edmonds. Terrell disqualified with 5. Front iron.
Wow.
Dan River with the board, though. Adams sticks it back up. No good. He's got another rebound. He takes it back up again. Front iron again. And another rebound. Adams up again. No good. And the foul is going to be on Demetrius Johnson.
You got to give both teams their just due and their props. I mean, they were battling it there. Taekwon Adams just refused to let the ball get out of his hands, even though the Johnsons had a great look at a bunch of those rebounds. How many times did he actually shoot the ball, Bob? 4? 3 or 4?
You know,
got the rebound every time.
Too many for Mike Carlero's like.
Absolutely, yeah.
Adams. Throw. Wow. No, nothing on that one.
Wow.
And I mean nothing.
And that could be either legs or perhaps the crowd. You know, when you don't even draw iron, Adams was 2 for 4 prior to that.
Now you know what's going to happen.
He'll sink this one without even hitting the rim. Exactly.
Front iron.
Short.
Malbeck with the board.
Nice one by Dimitri Malbeck there.
Every foul, rest of the game's 2.
Yep.
Thornhill over to Malbeck. Malbeck drives. Free throw line. Malbeck inside. Blocked by the rim. Thornhill sticks it back up. No good, and a foul. And it's going to go against Dan River.
Wildcats cannot believe it. And I'm going to be honest with you, that was one of those fouls. You could have gone either way. They're going to call it on Taekwon Adams. That's 4 for him now. And you know who was in the area as well, Darius Johnson. You could have called that either way. They were back and forth.
Yeah, I didn't see it on Adams, but I mean, in all fairness, that was down on the other end. My eyesight's not what it used to be, and there was a lot of bodies in there.
Yep.
Johnson can't get the first one to fall down.
You're right, a lot of bodies in there, a lot of back and forth.
Dan River crowd a little incredulous.
You can't envy the official's job in this one, because this is one, you could call a foul on every play if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But you can't do that, or otherwise, we'd still be in the first quarter,
Second one will bounce down 47-43. Well, we did start early tonight, so
we did.
Dan River with it. Bayshawn Jones. Guarded by Navy Jones.
The crowds are really getting into it now, both sides, Bob.
3:12 left. Altavista's definitely brought in this quarter. Jones guarding Jones. Bayshawn kicks it out. Tyleek Edmonds gets rid of it. Edmonds drives down and a travel.
Yep.
Bayshawn could not keep the feet. He was on McMoore, and Bayshawn is limping, I should say.
Yeah, he comes up hobbling a little bit. He's going to take a seat. Hopefully that's just a rolled ankle and not anything more serious than that. Great defense from Altavista. They really didn't let the Wildcats get involved in their offensive set. Tyrone Adams checking back in the game now for Dan River.
And we know what he did
Absolutely.
last week. And I'll tell you what, if I'm Altavista right now, just a little bit of strategy. Well, Edmonds is going to sit. I would have gone after Tyleek Edmonds next time he touched the ball, because when he got it, he looked to give it up almost right away.
Yeah.
Thornhill with the basketball. Thornhill over to Michi. Colonel's down 4 with 2:50 to go. If I'm Altavista, I'd really like a bucket here of some type.
Love one. They could cut it down to 2. They could cut it down to 1 with a 3-ball.
Edmonds, I think, is playing with 4.
I think you're right. Darius Johnson's playing with 4 for the Colonels.
That I know. Ball back with it. Over to Thornhill. Thornhill lost it but picks it back up. Inside to Darius. Darius takes it up. No good. Rebound by Dan River. And Demetrius almost flipped over somebody from Dan River. I think it was number 34, Myers. Play almost really kind of stopped there for a moment. McMoore with it.
Both crowds are on their feet now, Bob, like we are. The gym has got a wild circus atmosphere here. Both coaches want their units to just calm down a little bit.
McMoore drives, gives it off to Edmonds, and Edmonds gets a little bunny. Terrell Edmonds makes it a 6-point Dan River lead.
short one there for Edmonds. It was good defense from Altavista.
Got across the timeline. They do. Demetrius goes down and lost it. Dan River with the basketball. A bucket here could be huge for the Wildcats, but they pull it out. Intelligent basketball by Dan River right there.
7-point lead for the Wildcats. You're right. If they score again, that could all but do it.
Adams.
Down to a minute 36.
Now over to Edmonds. I think if you're Altavista, you got to maybe start thinking. Oh, and I'll tell you, Thornhill with the foul, and McMoore was getting to be out of control with that basketball. That's 3-on-1, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. He doesn't like it. That'll send McMoore to the free throw line to shoot a pair. You mentioned it. Both teams in a double bonus. So we're shooting 2 from here on out. Minute 31 to play in the ball game.
McMoore at the stripe for 2.
Still anybody's game, but if Dan River can make the free throws down the stretch, I think they'll feel good about their chances, Bob.
This is a 2-shot foul like every foul is the rest of the way, unless it's an and one. McMoore gets the first to go. I'm sure Kenny Murphy would like the rest because he had 2 games back-to-back last week.
Right.
This would
week.
make it, or yes.
Yeah.
It's almost last week now.
Yeah, you're right.
50-43, and I mean, they were 2 toughies.
And they had to win them to get into this game here. So, you know, it's not like it was just a cruise control situation. I mean, they've been playing hard all week.
McMoore's second free throw up short. Rebounded by Thornhill. But McMoore picked him up right away.
Yep.
Thornhill with it. Down to a $1:24. Altavista with 2 timeouts, maybe 3, but no more. Thornhill over to Michi.
The Colonels don't have to have a 3.
They had to get that, though. Malbec couldn't get it. Tie up. Jump ball reads Dan River. With 1:11 to go.
Yeah, possession arrow favors the Wildcats. You're right. They needed a bucket in the worst way. They couldn't get it on the hard layup from Malbec. So now Altavista has to either get a steal or a foul.
Well, Colonel's looking a little dejected, but I'll tell you can't keep any long faces yet because this one's not over.
No.
Navy Jones is in.
Yeah, not over at all. Just a 7-point deficit.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, keep in mind, Dan Rivers got to get it across midcourt, got to get the ball in. A lot of things have to happen for Dan Rivers too.
They got it across midcourt.
And they got it in bounds, obviously. Wildcats with it. McMoore throws it. Cross court. Johnson pokes in at it, and the foul, no shot. Well, and it will be 2 for Tyquan Adams.
Yeah, it wasn't in the act of shooting. It's going to be 2 shots anyway, double bonus. I like what Demetrius did. He tried to swipe the basketball out from the backside. He didn't just commit the intentional foul. You know, he tried to get the basketball out, but he did it hard enough to where if he missed and hit his arm, they were going to have to whistle him for the foul. First free throw up and no good. That breathes some life into Altavista.
Dan Rivers keeping this interesting. Adams got a towel, wiping his hands there.
Well, you need a good caddy sometimes. You know what I mean?
Adams, the second one, is going to not go down either. Life for the Colonels.
Absolutely.
Thornhill with it. They got to get a bucket, though.
Yep, under 50 seconds now.
Thornhill, he's doubled. Over to Navy Jones. Jones with it. And timeout. And that is going to get McClure back in. We'll keep it here with 44.2 seconds to go. And Altavista has no more than 2. I think they have 1.
I think they've got 1 timeout left. And, you know, it may be a situation where you'd like to have more, but this is the hand you're dealt.
Right.
Colonels are down 7. Again, you don't have to have a 3-pointer, but I would think in that huddle right now, Coach Carlero's drawing up a play or you know, a play they've already used, but he's drawing it up just as a refresher. And the first option is going to be a 3-pointer. Well, if that's not there, maybe then it's a drive to the basket or throw it in the low post to one of the Johnson brothers.
I mean, you got a few issues here. The bad part, and the part that I always like to bring up, is you can't stop the clock.
You cannot.
One time.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, Dan River can take their time inbounding the ball until they see the officials start counting.
Yeah, and you know, that may come into play. You're right. So it's a 44-second time frame is what we have left. If Dan River lets it roll around a little bit, they can run off however many that way. So maybe really you got to think about it as we've only got 35 seconds left or something like that. Thornhill will inbound on the sideline right in front of Altavista's cheering section.
And if I'm Altavista, I'd love to get a three the old-fashioned way, just because if you miss that free throw, something wild happens. Thornhill for three, though. Short. Might have had a little bit of piece of the basketball, and they're going to say it's going to stay to Altavista.
It was no good. Somebody deflected it on one shot, and then nobody got the rebound. So Colonels will keep it.
37.4. 50-43. Demetrius with it. Now over to Thornhill. Thornhill will fire to Hubbard. Now over to Thornhill. You got to have a little urgency here. Altavista not having an easy time with it. Adams steals it. He's going to go up with it, and that's going to be a foul. Hubbard reaches around.
Hubbard tried to make up for it. Adams got the steal in the backcourt, took it all the way down. Hubbard was a step late getting there. He couldn't get the block, but it'll send Tyrone Adams to the foul line. 50-43 is the score. Dan River leads with 25 seconds left. Couple free throws here, and that might basically end it for us, Bob.
Again, I mean, you want to be picky. And you could have maybe nailed Richard with the intentional just because of where he came. He came from around behind.
That one he did come from behind. You definitely could have had a reason to get the intentional foul there. First free throw up and good from Tyrone Adams. Now it's an 8-point lead for the Wildcats.
So the Colonels, unless something really, really good and strange happens, they're going to have Nelson County on Monday night.
It's looking more and more that way. Second free throw, no good, though. Let's see if the Colonels can come down and hit a quick three, maybe.
Thornhill with it. He's got to start looking for somebody. Thornhill drives all the way in. Thornhill all the way to the rack. Deposits two. It won't go down. Rough night for Juan offensively. And a foul against Altavista. I think it's against Darius. That's 5.
Yeah, and at this point, it probably doesn't matter. Ball game's basically done anyway. Darius played a great game. Another good first half for him. 11.9 seconds left. Dan River players and the fans can see the writing on the wall now. They know they're going to be the Dogwood District regular season champs.
And more importantly, and we'll talk about it in the Subway postgame show, line 1. And that's a good line to be on when you're looking at postseason. Dylan Allen's going to check in.
Yeah, line 1 is, for those of you not on the Bob Alvis Insider program, he's talking about that regional play. If you can be the regular season champ and your tournament champ, then you're on that first line for the regional seeding, which is, like Bob said, a great place to be. You really can't get less than a 2 or 3 seed that way.
Free throw up and off. I think that's Taekwon Adams at the strike.
It is. Second one on the way is short. Might not matter, though.
10 seconds, 9 seconds. Thornhill in the front court with it. Thornhill going to dribble it out. And that'll do it. I don't think the dunk will count. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. Altavista foiled again by the Wildcats, 51-43. The Subway postgame show after this timeout on 105.5 KD Country. Check out these new in-store specials at your local Apple Market. Energize with 2 12-ounce Red Bulls for just $5. Or grab an extra large bag of Doritos for just $3.49 and a 24-pack of Coke only $6.99. Or enjoy a tasty chicken tender sandwich for just $2.49 at Riverside or Main Street in the Gretna Apple Market locations. Visit the Apple Market's convenience stores soon.
The following is brought to you by English Construction Company.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Virginia High School League and the Virginia Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Dan River jubilant as they head off the court, as they will walk right past us. Altavista, not so much. Not their night as they lose to the Wildcats for the second time in a week, 51-43.
Yeah, tough loss for the Altavista Colonels. They were right in it the whole way, much like the first two meetings between these two teams. We knew this one was going to be close, Bob, and it really it was a great ball game, fun to watch. I have a sneaking suspicion that we could see this meeting one final time in the district tournament final. Of course, we mentioned it, district tournament starts next week. Altavista will host Nelson County on Monday. And it's kind of like last week. Altavista lost to Dan River, then they had to turn around and play Nelson County. Same situation. Let's see if the Colonels can get back on the horse and ride Monday at home against the Governors.
Subway post-game show, Eat Healthy, Eat Fresh, 2 locations in the Altavista area to serve you, one inside of Walmart and one on Main Street. You know, if you're Altavista, how do you spin this and take some good out of it?
Well, I think you got to say that Altavista played very hard for 4 quarters. The defense was good. They gave up some really tough shots, some hard luck kind of points. You got to feel pretty good if you're the Colonels, you know, based on the fact that, hey, are we going to see a team this athletic in Division I and Region B? Maybe, but, you know, I tell you, this Dan River team can play with anybody, single A, double A. So this is a nice test, a nice sparring partner for Altavista to get in the ring with.
Yeah, I mean, nail on the head right there. I mean, the chances of them seeing somebody better than Dan River, probably slim.
Right.
Not saying it's impossible, but yeah. And, you know, I mean, keep in mind, when Altavista won the state title that year, they had 3 losses. All 3 of them were to Gretna.
Yep.
So, I mean, you know, it's not like you've lost to, you know, a Dan River here, a Brookville there. No disrespect to those other teams, but it's not like you have 6 or 7 losses scattered across the board. You have 2 total.
Exactly, and this is a team that is a young team, like we've said. You know, don't forget about the 3 seniors. They play a very key role in this ball club, Walker, McClure, and Poindexter. But for the most part, it's a young team. I think the young guys can bounce back. They're always ready to play the bounce-back game. They don't let the losses fester with them. And I think these young guys still feel like they're probably a little bit invincible, Bob. They feel like, hey, it was a fluke that we lost those 2 games. And that's a good feeling to have. You got to have a short memory if you want to be a good athlete.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to hit on something you said there because it stuck with me. They feel like they're invincible. You're saying that's a good thing?
I think it is a good. Okay. Coming off a loss, I think it's a great thing. I think you can get overconfident. You know, if you're beating everybody by 20 or 30 and you think you're invincible, then that might be a problem. But I think you got to have the confidence and the bounce-back ability. I think the Colonels do have that with their young ball club.
Take a break and come back with final numbers, players of the game, stats, and a lot more. It's the Subway postgame show. Dan River gets the best of Altavista, 51-43 on KD Country.
Try a variety of daily lunch specials priced under $4 at El Cazador Restaurant. The people that brought the first Mexican food to the area 13 years ago and still going strong 7 days a week. Come by for Mexican or American food, all reasonably priced, with drink specials and great service too. Voted best Mexican restaurant by you, their customers, El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, Main Street in Altavista. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant thanks you for your loyalty and your business.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Bob Alvis, Kyle Haney back here with you from Gretna High School. It was the site of the regular season championship for the Dogwood District. Dan River will take that one. And, you know, I mean, if you're Altavista, you can probably nitpick and point to what went wrong, what went wrong. If you're Dan River, I mean, it might be that's what went wrong, because Dan River played crisp and did not string together mistakes tonight, I didn't think, at all.
Exactly. Dan River never allowed Altavista to go on an extended run. They controlled the basketball. The Wildcats didn't turn it over much themselves. And we talked all year about Altavista's man-to-man D, Bob, but how about Dan River's man-to-man D? It was very good. It limited Altavista's chances. And it seemed like the Wildcats did a great job taking away Demetrius and Darius Johnson down low. You know, they made it really tough on those guys. And just a very good Wildcat ball club. Make no mistake about it. But again, Altavista's got that bounce back ability. I think they're going to be fine. I look for the Colonels to do big things. And they only lost by 8. What did they lose to Dan River a week ago? By 9, something like that, I think it was.
Somewhere close.
Beat them by 2 the first time. So this is a toss-up game any way you slice it. And like I said, all signs point to we could be seeing this again a week from today in the district tournament final. But I'm sure people like Gretna and Appomattox and William Campbell, Chatham, those kind of ball
Nelson
clubs.
County probably too.
They're going to have a say in that as well. You know the Hawks would love to get in the district final. So this is definitely going to be an exciting district tournament. You got to tune into 105.5 KD Country for just that reason, Bob.
Monday night, I believe it will be myself and Mr. Briggs tentatively to call that out to the.
Is that a 7 o'clock
Nelson
game?
County
Is that
game?
a 6 o'clock game?
I think it's a 6.
Well,
but if there's no doubleheader,
right,
there's 6s. If there's a doubleheader, it's 5 and 7.
And the girls are playing
Tuesday at 6.
Yep.
And then if the boys are lucky enough to get past Nelson County and fortunate enough to get into that semifinal, and I don't say that, with the fact of I think Altavista is going to lose or anything.
Right.
But, if they can get fourth in there playing at 6 o'clock on Wednesday night as well. So,
right.
A lot to talk about here in the post-game show, and we'll start with some post-game numbers in just a moment, Kyle. But I think if you do want to nitpick, if you're Altavista, the free throw line's got to be cleaned up.
Yeah, I think Coach Carlero would love to see his guys get better from the free throw line. And we know that this Altavista team's got a lot of good shooters. I think the free throws, as we get into the postseason, Bob, they're going to take care of themselves. Let me mention a few things while you do the stats there. Our final regular season game, it was an extra regular season game, but we did consider it part of the regular season. And we got to thank our sponsors, Bob. I'll read them now while you're doing that, just to give you a second. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. Apple Markets, check out the weekly specials at all 3 Altavista locations. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving families since 1905. English Construction Company, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Fellers Chevrolet, where a short drive will save you money. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, voted best Mexican restaurant by their customers. And English's, your complete home center. See them for Atrium Vinyl Windows. Of course, if you listen to us on kdcountry.com, that's brought to you by Walmart in Altavista on the Clarion Road. Save money, live better. Walmart. And Bob, we thank them for their support all year, basketball and football. We probably don't thank them enough, but guys like Robert Duff and Rob Finch and Donnie English at English's, Greg Walker at Fellers, they make it easy for you and I to do what we do, and they make it easy for the fans to hear the games when they can't get to the ball game. And especially in a game like this, when each school only got allotted 250 tickets, there was a lot of people that couldn't make it. And, guys like that, they support the community. They get behind Altavista. They get behind high school athletics. We couldn't do it without people like that, Bob. They make it fun and they make it possible.
Nelson County on Monday night. The old adage is it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a year. Give me the points of concern you would have for Altavista.
Well, I think maybe the cause for concern is the Colonels have lost 2 out of 3. You mentioned that during the break. Both of them are to Dan River, a very great basketball team. But, that's the truth of it. You've lost 2 out of your last 3 games. I think, maybe there's a situation where sometimes your confidence isn't that high when you've lost 2 out of 3. And you've got a team like Nelson who's really going to let it all hang out. I mean, they've got nothing to lose to the Governors. And we know they can shoot the 3-ball well. They made some against Altavista, and I think they made 11 against William Campbell. Wasn't that what we said in the game prior to that? So you've got to be careful against the Governors on Monday. And Coach Brandon Garrett is a great basketball coach. He'll have a good game plan coming in. But if the Colonels take care of their business and do what they're supposed to do, I think we'll see Altavista win that ball game. And again, no slap in the face to Nelson, but just records would indicate that Altavista is favored to win that game.
Another Buena Vista Bowl on Monday night.
That's a great point. We need to get up there to Buena Vista and find some people to sponsor the Buena Vista Bowl Part 3 of 2013.
Final numbers for Dan River. They were led by Terrell Edmonds with 15. Bayshawn Jones chipped in 8. Tyrone Adams and Tyquan Adams each had 6. D. McMorrow with 5. Tremaine Edmonds with 4. Barry Martin with 2, and Rayshawn Meyer also snuck in with 5 points. Altavista, Darius Johnson led all scorers for the game. 16 from Darius, 9 from Juan Thornhill, brother Demetrius with 6, Richard Hubbard with 6, and 3 apiece from McClure and Malbec. Altavista 8 points short of tying the Wildcats tonight, 9 points shy of a victory. 51-43 was our final. Mr. Haney, your player of the game, starting with Dan River.
Well, that's a tough one, Bob. That's a real doozy. There's a lot of guys you could go with. A lot of guys were active and contributed. I'm going to go with number 12, D. McMoore. 5 for 7 from the free throw line by my count. That was big. He hit some down the stretch. He was saddled with foul trouble a lot. He had to play with 4 fouls there for a while. And I thought he did a nice job playing defense and staying in the game with those 4 fouls.
I'm going to go Taekwon Adams. Quietly only had 6, but I thought he was messing with the Colonels all night.
He was on the glass.
Here, there, and everywhere. Yeah. Altavista.
That's a little tougher. I'm going to go in a different direction. No disrespect to Darius and what he did. Had a fantastic game. I'm going to go with Michi Malbec. You know, Malbec got the 2 technicals last week. And we're not going to sugarcoat it over. I mean, he got the technical fouls for a reason. But in this one, he kept his cool. He was out there a bunch. And you could see the Dan River guys trying to needle him a little bit and get under his skin. Nothing malicious.
Right.
But you know, when a guy's gotten 2 technicals.
Like when I tried to needle you.
That's exactly right. Maybe you just whisper something in his ear, you know, that the referee can't hear. And I think Malbec did a nice job keeping his head, played a very good basketball game. I know he didn't score as much as he wanted to, but he was playing great on defense. And he's another point guard out there, and you can have him run the point, and that frees up some other guys to do some other things.
I'll go in the direction. Darius Johnson is my guy. 16 tonight. Played with 4 fouls, and I thought played brilliantly, honestly.
Good point.
With those 4 fouls, to where, I mean, he wasn't, you know, screaming out for his 5th, but he was still playing defense. So Darius is my guy. Nick Bailey's always my guy.
Nick
back
Bailey.
there. And, you know, I'm telling Nick, it's funny because I'm telling Nick some of the, you know, just the, hey, remember this, remember that before the game, and I feel like he wants to say, shut up, fool, I know what I'm doing. I've done this a few times.
He probably does want to, but he's way too classy for that.
Yeah, absolutely. But big thank you to Nick. Big thank you to Mike Carlero and Kenny Murphy, both for joining us in the pregame. Kyle, as always, many salutations to you. We'll see you next week. And like Kyle said, we couldn't do it without our sponsors. We hope you'll jump on board for us with the playoffs. Still time. I have a feeling if you wanted to call Kyle,
absolutely,
Dave, anybody on Monday at the station at 369-1055, they'll help you out. For Kyle Haney, Oscar Briggs, Mike Carlero, Kenny Murphy, Nick Bailey, and everyone involved in this one, this is Bob Albus, Dan River regular season Dogwood District champs by the tally of 51-43. Monday night, the Governors come down to A-Town. We'll talk to you then on 105.5 KD Country.